Oh, God. Oh, every time it gets me. Every time. Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods on 97.3, The Fan. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd. Let's get our heads right for a little hump day today. This will come as no surprise to anyone listening. It's raining again. This is it's like Groundhog Day. Every day it just rains here, and that's where we've been starting the show because, well, frankly, it's terrible. But it just feels like it's never going to end. And there could be some inclement weather next week, Paulie, even for opening day. So I'm back about it. We've got a golf tournament coming up. We'll get to that. Got a lot of business to get to today. There's a lot to talk about. And but let's get the intros going. Shouldn't take long today. I'm Woodsy, and I will be your captain today, your pilot, taking you through not solo. I got my co-pilot here, Paul Reindl. He's our executive producer. He's our YouTube director. And today he slides into the role of co-host and second chair as our buddy Ben Higgins is off to Carolina, going to be doing a golf trip bucket list. And I'm happy for him. I drove him to the airport this morning, drove the big guy into the airport this morning. I think even he was surprised at my generosity yesterday, Paulie, when I offered to drive him. He was like, what? Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you can, you don't have to,
because he won't pay for an Uber.
No,
he was gonna just park there.
He was going to drive to Aladdin and park at Aladdin and then get on the shuttle. It was going to save him it was going to save him $50, $100, something like parking at the airport and then parking at Aladdin and shuttling over.
Right.
It was going to save him a little piece. I said, listen, I live 5 minutes from you. I'm kind of heading that way anyway. It's a touch out of the way, but what am I doing? It's not like I'm hosting a show today. It's no big deal. So I picked him up this morning and drove him in. And he is ready to go, had all his gear with him. It's weird, though. Like, Ben and I have done a show together for 5 years. I consider Ben, part of my family. And that being said, us driving the car is very awkward. And let's just get it out there. It's very awkward. It's an awkward situation. I don't know. It's because it's early, but it's awkward. We're riding in like silence, and we host a morning radio show together. It's so weird. So he's just sitting there, and I'm like, just driving, and I'm like, so excited. It's like he's like a teenager.
Did he ask to turn on PGA radio?
No, he did not. And he knew he wasn't going to mess with my radio because I listen to music in the morning driving in. But we're driving, and it's like it was silent for so long that it's uncomfortable, like an uncomfortable silence. And you're driving, and he's just sitting there and clearing his throat off. And I'm like, so, you excited? Yeah. All right. What time you get in? Oh, like 6:30 tonight. Cool. What's the tomorrow? Oh, 7:40 tea time. Pinehurst number 4. All right, cool.
You want me to stop talking?
Should I just shut the fuck about that? Why don't you get in the back and let me drive you like I'm your chauffeur? How about that? Do you want me to put the partition up? I brought you a bottle of water, sir. It's there for you. And you can just get in the back, and then I don't have to hear from me. So I'm like filling him in on all this stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Our golf tournament, is coming up. Tickets go on sale at 10. We'll have a lot more information for you later. And there's some last minute creases, you have to iron out yesterday. And so there was this big, long email thread going on. He's not on it. And so I was filling him on it, and he looks at me. We're driving, and he goes, "Yeah, that's why I choose to stay out of this stuff." I was like, "Cool, good for you." It's very awkward. It's weird because we have we've done countless number of hours together on the radio, and the chemistry is top notch. It's what makes this show click. But to drive into the airport, it was very quiet. Very quiet. It felt like when I was like in high school or college, and my parents would try to talk to me. Good. Fine.
Now, let me ask you this. Did he mention anything about having a death wish?
No, we did not mention having a death wish.
Because, the reason I bring that up,
This dude.
6 minutes ago, right at 6 a.m.,
Right at 6 a.m.
Ben texts you and me, do the show, bitch. I'm doing vacation.
I mean, he must be out of his mind. I would have rather him sent a D pic than send that text at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Neither of us respond. And 1 minute later, he wrote, that sounded meaner than I intended. Yeah, no S.
On Hale, tweets, and you guys hang out every day. Of course, there's nothing to talk about. I disagree. I disagree fully. Like, I hang out with my wife every day. We always have something to talk about. Mostly it's like the kids and stuff. If there is an uncomfortable, no, there's no, we always have something to say. I think, is that normal? The fact that we spend so much time together, we have nothing to say in the morning. But it's always been
It's
that
weird.
way.
I mean, if you were picking him, if his car was in the shop and you were just picking him up to take him in to do the regular day-to-day show,
Yeah.
I feel like even then you still have something to talk about.
No, I've done it. I've picked him up for work.
But my point is, going on vacation, there should be a lot to talk about.
He should be giddy.
Did you talk about?
Diarrhea of the mouth.
Did you catch a game last night?
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. The greatest icebreaker of all time.
One of the best games I've ever seen happened. It ended 22 hours ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't bring it up.
No.
Wow.
I mean, this is just very uncomfortable, very awkward. But I was happy to do it. Listen, every time you can fill the karma up, you do it. You do it. And it's such a win-win, is, man, the thought of paying that much for parking for him. I'm a man of convenience, and I spend too much money on convenient things, and I fully embrace it. I wear it. To save 5 minutes, I'll spend $40. It's who I am. It's how my mom is. My dad actually is more Ben. If my dad could have saved $100, my dad would have parked at John Wayne Airport.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And shuttled in. And that's Ben. I think that's why I have this need to be accepted by Ben. Ben's a lot like my dad. Even though I'm older than him, he's a lot like my dad. He wanted to really put us on the couch and delve in. He's very much got a lot of the same characteristics. And even at 47 years old, I still have this, longing need to be accepted by my dad. And I think that's fairly normal. But so we did drive in this morning. And it's the conversations. It's a little odd. How are you doing, Paulie?
Doing good. I'm trying to get our feed all dialed in.
What's up with our feed?
It's a little choppy.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it my camera?
I don't think it's your camera, and nothing else has changed. I think it's my laptop. So when you go to break, I'm gonna reboot.
Reboot it.
Do a reboot.
A reboot. That's fine.
But other than that,
So yeah, I mean, when Ben is out, typically, things can get a little bit wheels off from time to time. I was very happy we had texted Adam Jones, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm in," and he'll do this to us from time to time. Yeah, I'm in. And then ghost.
Right.
He'll be
I was
like,
texting with him over the weekend.
he's
I'm
like, just
hey,
text me when you need me.
I'm looking ahead. I go, yeah, it'd be great to sit up with you on Monday or Tuesday, but we're gonna need you on Wednesday.
He's at the WBC,
Right.
so he was there.
So knowing the championship game was on Tuesday, I was texting him on Saturday night.
Yep.
I said, hey, let's do Wednesday morning. He goes, yeah, I'm in. And then I texted him yesterday. I'm like, hey, what time tomorrow?
No response.
And then he texted me like 45 minutes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in. Whatever you need, pimp. I'm like, okay.
You tell me, buddy.
Yeah. So he's going to join us at 7 now. We're going to have Sammy's training on as well, because it was a huge day for the San Diego Padres yesterday. And I know it's just a spring training game, but I mean, it was like a harbinger, hopefully things come. A huge baseball game last night. That was incredible. You had a lot of consternation again online about this is a smart tournament. There's so much to talk about. You Darvish, him coming in for an inning. How does that set us up? There's a lot to get to today. We've got a golf tournament that we're going to be talking about. And I'll be honest with you, we're going to be pushing it on you pretty hard because it's due sale at 10 today. And as the morning show that's hosting the golf tournament, our main responsibility is to sell those tickets. And I got a feeling it's going to go pretty well. So if you were interested in the Ben and Woods Open, make sure you set that alarm. Make sure you're ready to jam right at 10 o'clock as Paulie and I will be washing our hands of it as we walk out of here.
Turn off my phone.
Not look at Twitter. Definitely looking at chat today to see what the armchair PDs are up to. In the chat, I'm busy. I got a host today. I'm not good at hosting. I'm not good at the mechanics of this show, reading all the liners and all the stuff that Ben does. But we'll get it done.
I did leave out about half of the line.
Good. Yeah, I wasn't going to read them anyway. So wasting your
aware.
time. Today is National Goof Off Day, which I feel is very appropriate for me and Paulie. I don't know how experimental we'll get today. There's a lot of business to get to.
Now, you posted something yesterday. Said I tweeted out the rundown. Hey, here's what's coming up on Wednesday. You forgot to mention Emily Nyman.
Emily
join us
Nyman.
at 8:35.
If you guys don't know Emily Nyman, she hosts a podcast, and I believe it's called the Breaking Balls podcast. She's fantastic. She's one of the funniest, smartest baseball people on Twitter, and I've been a fan of hers for a long, long time. And she is one of the most fearless, clever, sharp baseball minds out there, period, the end. And I just have so much admiration for her, and she's so phenomenal. And I talked to her yesterday. I go, you got to come on my show. She goes, I would love to. Nothing would make me happier. She lives on Long Island, Paulie. So she's got the full on Long Island accent, which I just love.
She's going to join us on Zoom. So if you're on the YouTube chat, you'll see her. You'll be a part of that. I can't wait. I followed her for a long time.
She's brilliant.
And we were texting yesterday, and she's like, I wait you guys finally, like, virtually or whatever.
She's brilliant, man. I'm like borderline obsessed with her because she's so good at what she does. She's coming on at 8:35. But yeah, I did. You sent out the rundown last night. You forgot the most important part of something I've been kicking around in my head. And I thought, the last time Ben was out, we played Bob Dylan, his song, A Murder Found. We played it in its entirety. It was 17 minutes long. It was excruciating. And I thought, well, what could be potentially more excruciating than that? Now, are you familiar with this record, Paulie?
No, I'm not. I know who Lou Reed is, and you've referenced this album enough that I had an idea that it was something along those lines of Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
I was thinking like another 18-minute song, and it's close. It's a 16-minute song, but there's 4 of them.
There's 4?
Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
It's called Metal Machine Music. It was the 5th album that Lou Reed put out, 5th solo record that he put out. It's ranked number 2 worst album of all time. It's honestly, it's so bad. But play it, and just if you haven't heard it, sorry for those on the stream, you can follow us on YouTube. This is it. That's it. Hour and 15 minutes of this. Like a computer glitching. That's it.
That's
the whole record.
So if I skip ahead.
Yeah.
4 minutes in.
That's it.
8 minutes in.
So Dylan, I could get through that because it was funny. People would be genuinely mad if we played Lou Reed's Metal Machine Music, even if we played one song. It's 16 minutes of that. Droning computer sounds.
I'm confident that I couldn't get through
either.
That one.
One night.
I wasn't sure I could get through Bob Dylan.
It was funny though.
But it's funny.
We played it. We had fun with it. This one, bro. One night, Paulie used to work at March and Ash, and then made me a goodie bag one time, and I partook of it. And I laid in bed and I listened to as much Metal Machine music as I could, and I wanted to die. It's like infuriating. Audience, they would leave and they would go check in on other morning shows, and I don't think they would ever come back.
Mm-hmm.
That's as much as we could physically play.
Oh my God.
And it's an hour and 15 minutes of that. But then once I thought about it, it's such an FU. And I thinking about it going, it's not good, and I'm not going to listen to it, but I appreciate the troll of it. I'm going to do a full record.
So
like
what's
put it
label
out.
was
So
like, you owe us one more record.
I feel like it was a big. He was doing pretty well commercially, and I feel like it was a big fu to the record company and kind of to the to the fans and stuff. Like you put out something like that, completely self-indulgent. There's no melody to it. There's no structure to it. It's computer sounds, and it's an hour and 15 minutes of it, and it's the name of the worst record, second worst record of all time. And I go, man, that would be even too much for me.
What's first?
I don't know. But I saw in the Wikipedia it said ranked number 2, and the thing I need to find out what's
now.
Number one.
I need to
know what's number 1. So that's Lou Reed's Metal Machine Music. Maybe we can play more of that later if you. We've got the Daily Ditty coming up next. It's a Paul selection. It's women in rock and roll. I can assure you, whatever it is, it's going to be better than Lou Reed's Metal Machine Music. Going to be talking to Adam Jones. Very excited about that. Got more business to handle with the golf tournament. And it's good to have you guys here. Today will be a day where you can feel free to call in and shoot the breeze. Whatever you guys want. It's wide open. All right. Our phone number. Where's the thing? 888.
No.
Nope. 833.
Yeah.
288.
Yeah.
0973.
Boom. Look at you. It's almost like you've been here for 4 years.
What is it?
833 288
288
0973.
All right. It's written down. So if you guys want to call, I'll be happy to talk to you. I also want to be one of the most interactive shows in Southern California.
Let's do it.
The coach says he's the most interactive show. I'd like to be, if he's one, I'd like to be 1A or 1B. You guys can call us today. Let's rip some calls. Woods 97.3, The Fan. We will be right back. It's a Pauly Daily Ditty selection today. Paramore, Misery Business.
Oh yeah.
I liked that song that they did for the Twilight movies, which I also liked. I have admitted. How did we get here? Love it. Decode was the name of that one. And I was a very secret fan. Driving around in my car. How did we get here? I used to know you so well. Nothing like singing Paramore over Paramore.
Yeah.
Two completely different songs.
Right. Now, love Haley Williams.
She's I'm also a fan.
Huge fan.
Also a fan, Pauly.
They got a new album out. That's an old song, but they do have a new album out, and it's weird. It's one of those things where they haven't put out an album in a while.
Yeah.
And so highly anticipated return.
Yep.
And listen to it.
Not good.
I listened to it a couple of times. When a new album comes out that I'm really looking forward to, I start at track 1. I turn off shuffle and I let it go because I believe that they were put in that order for a reason.
100%. That's a very boomer mentality that you have.
I know.
I feel like hopefully that's from me rubbing off on you. It's probably not.
I think I've always done it that way.
Good.
But,
well, just give me a little bit.
I'll give you the credit. You can have the credit.
Thank you.
Playing it a couple of times, and I go, there are a handful of songs that I really like, and there's a handful of songs
just
that I really don't like. And I don't know if that's them trying to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, trying to stay current.
And I'm like, overall, it's like a B-.
Yeah,
you know?
As if it's got some bangers on it. You know, You're like, all right, I'll just listen to the bangers. That's how it usually works. Hey, San Diego Padres fans, going to get into some Padre talk in a minute. The party starts before the game on the Coaster Train. Join the winning team. Buy your Coaster Train tickets to Padres games and score big at gonctd.com/Padres. We are obviously going to talk about the WBC. We don't have a lot of time to do it right now. Going to do it in the next segment because there's a lot to talk about from that game. Obviously, Adam Jones joining us at 7. He's there. He's been there. The dude was in the locker room giving a pregame speech a couple of nights ago.
In the last week, he's thrown out the first pitch.
Yeah,
I've seen him just hanging out with anybody and everybody on the field.
He's like Forrest Gump. he's like Forrest Gump.
Adam Gump.
Forrest Jones. Dude's on a yacht. He's in. Hey, I'm at the Coliseum. What? And then he's like, oh, I'm in the locker. It's crazy. He's Forrest Gump. Nobody should definitely Photoshop Adam Jones as Forrest Gump. Padres won big yesterday, 14-2 over the Rockies. Now, okay, spring training. Man, you looked at the top 4 in the lineup. Tatis leading off, playing right. Crony at second. Manny Machado hitting third, playing third. Xander Bogaerts in the 4-hole, playing short. Matt Carpenter DHing. Matt Carpenter, who had looked like he was swinging a wet newspaper for a while. Every time I mention somebody being bad or good, it goes the opposite way. It's crazy. If you're in a slump, call me, and I'll say something bad about you, and you'll start hitting again. Carp ended it with 3 hits, knocked in 4 runs last night. Tatis had a couple of hits. Crony had a couple of hits. Manny had a hit, knocked in a couple of runs. Bogaerts had a couple of hits, knocked in a run. That is the promise of things to come this season, man. And again, that's without Juan Soto being in the lineup as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I still am firmly in the camp that Jake Cronenworth is going to have a monster season quietly, because you got those big 4. And there's just guys around him.
You got to pitch to somebody.
Somebody's gonna need to see some fastballs.
I can see him having a big year. I can see Ha-Seong Kim continue. I mean, from year 1 to year 2, he definitely made strides offensively.
No doubt.
The glove's always going to be there.
Glove's going to be there.
But you saw him improve offensively, and it's a combination of a lot of different things.
He works his tail off. New league,
new pitchers, different caliber of pitchers, just different style of pitchers,
different country.
I saw Brian O'Grady post yesterday. This is why it is so hard to hit in Japan, because the talent. So many people just assume, it's like AAA ball over there.
It's not.
A, it's not.
It's not.
And B, the movement, those splitters, like everything is so different.
They'll throw pitches, different counts. Adam Jones played there. He told us, hey, man, they told me when I got there, sit on the fork ball. No one in the history of baseball ever, at any level or league, has been told, hey, man, when you get up there, just sit on the fork ball. It's never happened. It's watch fastball, adjust to anything off speed. Not Adam Jones. He's like, no, man, they told me sit on it. Sit on it. And you have a prayer. And that's what makes it so challenging. And obviously Japan is doing a lot of things right in the game of baseball as they won the WBC last night. We will get into that next when we come back here on Ben and Woods. Let's dive in headlong, man, to all of it. There's so much to talk about. If you don't believe in baseball gods, I don't know what to tell you after last night and how it ended up playing out. It's so apparent to me.
It almost made me mad.
I know,
how perfect.
You couldn't wrap your head around the
like
moment.
Rob Manfred's just sitting in that suite.
I mean, it was just as perfect as it
Pants
could be.
around his ankles.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Completely pantsless.
Oh.
It was incredible. It was an incredible tournament. I do not understand those that continue to rip the tournament. Makes no sense to me. Some of the best baseball I've ever seen. Period. The end. We'll get into it next right here on Ben and Woods. Welcome back, Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Benjamin Higgins on first vacation of the year.
First of how many? What's the over-under?
I'm going to go 6.
What was the official count?
5.5.
What was the official count from last year?
Like 6.
7?
6 or 7? Yeah.
I'll take the over.
Take the over 5.5?
Yeah. We already got 3 planned.
There's 3 on the books. It's March. So
I'll take the over.
3, maybe 4. There's Santa Barbara.
It's going somewhere in June.
Yeah, he's going to Catalina, Santa Barbara.
When's Aspen?
Well, yeah, Aspen, the Hamptons. I mean,
Nantucket.
Cape Cod, sailing in Cape Cod. You know that's coming.
Plus 4 Hawaii trips.
No doubt. Yeah, he hasn't even booked 1 Hawaii trip yet. Yeah, what are we doing here? Paulie Rindle's our EP, and gonna be kind of filling in for it's me and Paulie in here today, just shooting the breeze. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Pfizer and BioNTech. Today's forecast says it's a great day to stay in the loop on COVID-19. Sign up now for reliable information on COVID-19 and a vaccine option, resources, and more at PfizerCovid19.com, sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Let's check traffic, then we will get right into one of the better baseball games and maybe the best moment in the last 15 years of watching live baseball last night.
Traffic is sponsored by the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. Hey, John and Tammy, got a few problems here. One of them is a solo vehicle accident in the South Bay eastbound side of the 905 before Caliente. It's in the center divide. Also, collision on northbound
Traffic's
805
still good,
past
right?
Palm Avenue. That appears to be
John.
blocking the
That's
slow
Tammy.
lane in the North County. Vehicle
Hey,
fire on
y'all.
northbound 15 at Mission Road, not showing if lanes are blocked. And we still have this overturned crash on the Gopher Canyon off-ramp of southbound 15. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department is working hard to keep San Diego safe and is now hiring. The Sheriff's Department offers rewarding careers with growth and has an opportunity for
doesn't say
anyone
Ben
with
and Woods here
integrity
in
that
10
wants to make a
seconds.
No.
difference. Go to joinsdsheriff.net to learn more. That's joinsdsheriff.net. I'm Kelly Danik, San Diego's country station.
Well,
1037
I mean,
KSON.
kind of
She's not wrong.
in the last
We have given away Dirks Bentley tickets,
Country Fest,
tickets,
Sam Hunt.
so many Sam Hunt liners.
So
Yeah.
she's right. She just got
Absolutely
the names
right.
wrong. It's Ben and Paul, Woods and Paul today.
San Diego's leading country music
San Diego's
station.
number 2 country station, 97.3 The Fan. So last night it came down to the moment that, when people were looking at the game, they said, well, that's a moment I'd like to see, right? Like that's a moment that I think
Like 6th inning, you started hearing the broadcast.
Yep.
Everybody on social media was saying like, "Hey, is Darvish going to get in?
yeah.
Is when's Ohtani going to go, if at all, to the bullpen?" And then you saw him walking out there. You're like, "Okay, is he going to get in?"
Then you saw him on a dead sprint back because his spot in the order was coming up. And you're like, oh my God, okay. He's down there throwing, he's stretching, he's getting loose to potentially come in and close the game, but he also has to hit. So he's got to run back in from the bullpen. And we all kicked around the idea. We talked about it yesterday on this show. Every sports show that cares about baseball talked about it. And they said, how nuts would it be if it came down to Captain America against Superman? And that's who Shohei, like there's a lot of guys in history and sports named Superman. It's a very common nickname. You're all done. There's only one, and it's Shohei Ohtani.
Yep.
What he's doing is so mind-blowing to me. And the fact that there are still people out there that doubt like what he's doing is a big deal, it makes me question, well, your intelligence, frankly. Like it makes me question everything, because I just can't imagine. It's not like there's been two-way players before. There's been guys that Jake Cronenworth was going to be a two-way player. He's a fantastic baseball player, a fantastic hitter, but he's not 50 bomb home run hitter. You know what I mean? And he's not Cy Young caliber.
Yeah.
There are guys that could probably do it. Nobody's going to do it at his level for now.
No, we've said it a million times. The comparison is always Babe Ruth, and that's not accurate.
It's not exactly accurate.
Babe Ruth was a pitcher and obviously the power hitter that we all know him as.
Yep.
But he was a pitcher
Then
early in his career.
Then he was
and he was
a
a
hitter.
very good pitcher.
Very good pitcher.
Then he stopped pitching
And
and
hit.
then became the power hitter. He was not doing him at the same time.
I can't get my head around what I saw last night. As hard as I've tried, that moment was so cool. And again, they're the people that are not fans of the WBC for whatever reason there may be. Maybe your favorite player got hurt. Maybe you're a Met fan and you just can't reconcile, losing Edwin Diaz for a tournament. There's been so many injuries in spring training this year as well. It's just a freak thing. What this inevitably does for the game of baseball, though, is I think it has opened so many eyes. It has given us, the fans, so much to cheer for. And the other thing, too, and everybody was talking about this, Paulie, and I wonder if you buy into this at all. Everyone's saying, man, I kind of expect Major League Baseball to feel a little different this year. I really do. I feel like all the guys that watched that went, oh, man, look at that passion. Look at the passion that every team. I mean, when Australia would get a big knock, they would go nuts. When Italy would get a big knock, they would go nuts. The Puerto Rican team went crazy. The Dominicans went nuts. The Japanese team were banging on, they went crazy.
Yeah.
So when you see that as a player and you're like, hey, man, maybe it is okay to show a little emotion out there.
Sure.
Maybe I'm not going to just, have to wear 96 in the ribs if I want to beat my chest a little bit. By the way, that's what it should be. It should be so much fun because you watch this tournament and if you didn't have fun, I don't know what to tell you. Then you hate fun. You really do. If you disagree, you can call. I don't care. We chat about it. 833-288-0973.
With Shohei warming up in the pen, and then the broadcast looks ahead to who's coming up for Team USA, and you see Trout's not leading off.
No.
He's not batting fourth. Needs
Nope.
a guy to get on. He's batting third. And if you're rooting for the US, you're hoping maybe it doesn't even come down to Trout.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance he's going to come up with 2 outs, game on the line, down 1
no
against Shohei Ohtani. And it's like, dude, if you needed one guy to get a hit, Mike Trout's very good pick.
Yeah, it's tough.
And if you needed one guy to get an out on the mound, Shohei Ohtani might be everyone's pick.
It was unbelievable. I couldn't.
How
believe
does it work out?
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't.
Storybook.
The baseball gods, shined upon all of us last night. And if you missed it, Trout comes. So Jeff McNeil works a walk on a ball. It was a ball, but it was a 99-mile-an-hour heater that missed by a hair. I mean, by a hair.
It was a ball.
It was a ball. I mean, there was space in between the ball and the bottom of the box. So it's a ball. He walks. Mookie Betts, Dodger right fielder, comes up, and I feel like we could have put a rally together there, but he grounded into a double play. So it's very cool. Thanks, Mookie. I'll let the entire country down. No big deal. And then up steps Mike Trout with a chance to tie it 3-2. The Japanese team are winning.
Works a full count.
Just dirty, 100-mile-an-hour heaters down the middle, challenged him, gave him his heaters, full count. This is what happened.
Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's unbelievable. That's
the dirtiest 3-2 slider I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was like an alien. I mean, it really was. It was like an alien. Seeing that, they just, and you look at it and you go,
I mean, everybody on that roster is a good hitter, but it's Mike Trout, and you're like, I'm throwing him a slider. 3-2.
And I was rooting for the U.S., I guess, but I wasn't mad at all.
I did not care. I really didn't have a team that I was absolutely pulling for when the game started. And throughout the game, when Trey Turner hit that home run, dude, I was like, oh, there we go.
So
smoked it.
Yes.
Stay hot, Trey.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then when Team Japan took the lead, I'm like, all right, let's go. I was rooting for both teams, man. It was so much fun.
It was awesome.
We do this all the time. We did it the other day. Here's what that final out sounded like on television in Japan.
Full count. Ohtani ka, Trout ka. Ohtani Shohei ga shimekutta. Samurai Japan, WBC, Ota Dakkan.
Inherently, such a great thing for baseball. That being said, when you listen to the quotes from Mike Trout talking after the game, I mean, look, man, Mike Trout does it he does it like the right. I tell Bo, I said, there's a couple guys I want you to look at when they strike out. Mike Trout's one of them. Manny Machado's the other one. Like, all right, so what? You got me. I'll get you again. And Mike Trout said after the game, it was round one. He got me this.
Obviously, he didn't come out the way I wanted to. You know, I think as a baseball fan, I think everybody wanted to see it. He won round one.
That's it. Like,
no, you can't take anything away from it. Just to be able to come out of the bullpen, you know, as a starter, and you know, it's showtime. So hats off to them guys over there. Tough night for us, but we'll be back.
yeah, it's great. Like he handles himself the right way. Here's the inherent problem, though, is what else he said. He said, this is a guy that's been in the league for a long time. He said, it's probably the funnest 10 days I've ever had.
It's important.
I can't really express what's different about it. You can just feel it in your veins. It's a special, special feeling. That is an inherent. If you're the Angels, you're like, oh no. That guy needs more big moments. Mike Trout needs more big moments. Shohei Ohtani. I couldn't help but think about Angels fans last night as I was watching that. How cool is that, right? You're the Superman against Captain America, and those are both your guys. And there's got to be a part of you that goes, yeah, but we don't do anything. Like Mike Trout just said, this tournament is the most fun 10 days he's ever had. That's a problem, because that means you guys got to do what you have to do to get into the playoffs.
I want Nick Martinez to say, I had a great time with Team USA, but my God, that playoff run last year was fun. Or you know, yes, whatever's in store for 2023.
Of course. And listen, playing for your country does mean something to a lot of these guys. You heard of Manny and all the Dominican players saying, no, man, this is it. This is, you know, and that's special. That's special. But man, when it comes to Mike Trout, you know, American baseball player playing for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Paulie, saying those were the 10 funnest days I've ever had in my life. Now, he was the captain. He was doing a lot of the recruiting, and he did say, look, we got to get a better team together. And nothing, again, Merrill Kelly is Greg Maddux against the San Diego Padres. So nothing really against Merrill Kelly, but when it's the last game and you're in the championship, I want call me an a-hole, I want somebody better than Merrill Kelly representing the US of A on the biggest stage, the biggest night. I do.
Rob Manfred, he did time with the media before the game yesterday in Miami, and he pretty much echoed that same sentiment that we've been talking about, that everybody in baseball has been talking about. Hey, this is fun. This is great. There are a lot of stars offensively.
Yeah.
Not as many stars, still some, but not as many star pitchers. And we're still kind of in the same place, because Manfred said, look, we've exhausted every option, trust me. Right. And we're not going to move it, at least anytime soon. We've looked at midseason. We've looked at the end of the year. It just doesn't seem feasible. This seems like the best time of year to do it. I don't know what's going to change in a couple of years.
I don't either. And I look at now, when's the next one? 26?
26.
So 3 years from now, you do it again.
But like for this year, would you have wanted Blake Snell in there? I wouldn't have. A guy that
maybe. I
would have loved to see him. I would have loved to see him. As a Padres fan, I don't know that I would have wanted him in there, because this is a guy that already kind of traditionally starts pretty slow. It's tough, man.
Joe Musgrove.
It's a really fun tournament, but
if he doesn't drop,
my eyes are on what I think is the bigger prize, World Series.
Well, I mean, mine too, sure. But I don't know how you watch that last night as a fan or a player and go, I don't want to be a part of that.
No,
I would be sick to my stomach thinking I stayed in Peoria and they're there and I'm in Peoria.
Yeah.
I'm on the backfields today, taking ground balls with Rugi Odor. I could be in that dugout tonight with Mike Trout and Cedric Mullins.
You see the picture the Padres posted? Go to the Padres Instagram or Twitter feed. They posted pictures of the entire dugout huddled around inside the dugout, watching an iPad or a TV.
That's it.
Of that moment.
Yeah, you run the risk, obviously, of getting guys hurt, but I don't know, man. I don't want to say it feels worth it, but you watch that.
You're just bitching and moaning about, Darvish might miss game 1, of the regular season. I'm not getting to that point.
We're going to get in there.
It's more just understanding why star pitchers didn't participate as much. this year.
There's no bigger star
get
than
it.
there's no bigger star than Shohei Ohtani. And if he's in there, I should be there if I'm a star. No bigger star. No one has more to lose than him. No one
Yeah.
on the planet. Nobody
Yeah,
else.
he hasn't gotten paid.
None of us are looking down the barrel of a $500 million deal. No one had more to at stake than him.
Juan Soto, and he was there.
He was there.
Not a pitcher, but
Couldn't
still.
wait. Couldn't wait to get there. Would go back. We got time for this call?
Yeah, we got a Dio.
Adio, my
Checking
man from
in.
Philly. You only got a couple minutes, buddy. How you doing?
Good. I'll make it quick. So I love the World Baseball Classic, and I tweeted this to our friend Adam Jones. I was like, look, I love this thing for one reason and one reason only. It just felt like the players were not necessarily encouraged to like exude personality, but they weren't necessarily like, it wasn't necessarily frowned upon. Watching a Rosarina like pimp a defensive play was amazing. I loved it so much.
It was unreal.
And it just shows how fun baseball could be if the higher ups would lighten up a little or a lot.
Dude, you're absolutely right. And you know, honestly, it starts with some of the guys broadcasting baseball. We'll get into that too today. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. I'm not saying that players that haven't played this, you know, players have played this game forever, and I value your opinion, but man, there's a change coming. There's a change, and it's okay. It's okay to be excited. It's okay to beat your chest a little bit and have some fun. And I don't think it's necessarily, I didn't feel like anybody got shown up this tournament. I don't look at it and go, oh man, that guy, he got shown up.
It all added to the experience.
You got to be careful when you do it, because they'll come back and get you. It'll come back and get you, but
it always does.
It always does, but do it. Have a ball. Don't
Like, who watched Randy Arozarena and was like, I don't like
I hate
this.
that guy.
Like,
This
come
baseball
on.
sucks. I know. Baseball.
Come on.
Baseball. It shows you what baseball could be. That was great stuff. Adam Jones coming up next. Can't wait to talk to him.
Let's
He was
go.
there in the dugout, in the clubhouse. All that's coming up next right here on Ben and Woods. Welcome back, Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. We are without Benjamin today. He's heading out to North Carolina, play a little golf. I'm Woodsy, that's Paul Reindl. And joining us now, is he ready now, Paulie?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, so we'll vamp for a minute. I love to vamp. It's clearing up outside a little bit, looks like.
Right now.
Is the rain coming back, though? That's what I want to know. I thought he was ready.
No.
Should have let that music bleed for another 40 seconds. So.
Jumping in right now.
Yeah. Just see what's up. Is he on? He's not on camera, though, right?
No, he's not.
He refused, actually, to be on camera. We asked him, and he this is a true story. Paul, he said, I can send you the link if you want to jump in. He said, I'm naked in bed. And so I'm not going to be on your camera while I'm naked in bed. Is he on?
He is there. We got him. Adam Jones.
Joining us on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline is the very nude Adam Jones. Hey, buddy.
Hey man, I didn't want to be on camera this early. I'm exhausted from the WBC. I just came back, took off all my clothes, and just got on top of the bed.
Dude, you are. I said it earlier. You're like Forrest Gump. Like you've got like all this cool stuff. You're doing everything. Like you're doing everything. That's anything, and you're there. You're at every big moment. Now, obviously, the WBC that feels a little bit like Adam Jones territory to me. And you tweeted the other day. You go, "All right, that's it. It's Randy Arozarena's tournament now. There is no more Jones."
That's a sweet tweet to send.
I said you're out.
Come on,
I said
man.
you're out of your mind.
Dude, it's this tournament is giving people a platform, and my catch in our winning in 2017 was monumental, but it was 6 years, so like my catch has been ingrained in people's mind, and I'm glad that again it's still the best catch of WBC. I don't care. I pat my own damn horn on that one.
Period. The end. Period.
But it's a new moment was made. Some new great historical lifetime changing moments were made. And that's what the WBC is about. You got guys who, again, team check. You can go to Home Depot and field that same exact team against the Czech Republic. Okay, that's where they came from, and they went and played Japan. The dudes from Nicaragua striking out Rodriguez, Devers, and one other guy from Team Dominican gets a job. It's the show.
Soto, wasn't it Soto?
Yeah, Soto.
Yeah,
this tournament was amazing. And over Rosarena, I mean, he put on a show.
He did.
He flat out put on a show, and that's what this WBC has all been about. And obviously, you see last night when you got I think the most watched and most anticipated, the most wanted matchup probably of all time. Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout. Are you kidding me?
It was amazing. Now the cool thing is, and I saw this the other day. So you actually went down into the locker room and talked to the guys before the semifinal game. How did that go? What was that like? Just kind of walk us through your experience the last few days out there.
Well, I mean, I obviously have ties to Team USA and know all those guys, but no, I've talked to them before facing Venezuela, and I said it was pretty simple. It's like, hey, your fans ain't gonna be out there to support you and like root you and cheer you up. Like that ain't gonna happen. We in Miami. Okay, because me and Venezuelans out in that stadium ready to tear y'all heads off for this event, because it's Venezuela USA. If you're playing for the Marlins or the Red Sox or something, it's different. But them Venezuelans out there, they were ready to tear y'all heads off. Y'all bring y'all energy. And from the first pitch, as soon as y'all walk out this room, bring the energy, because outside the fans will give Team Venezuela all that energy. And if you can watch the game, you see how much energy was shown by Mike Trout, Jerry Manuel, Goldschmidt. I mean, you're talking about Goldschmidt is a straight cement block.
Statue, yeah, okay? 100%.
A statue. Straight statue. A cigar store statue. Doesn't move. And like everybody was showing emotion. They said they blacked out when Trey Turner hit that home run. That
unreal.
Again, we want to see Mike Trout in October. Well, playing for the Angels, we get that. We get to see him now, like right before the season. Juice, like he's gonna have a big season. I think the players in WBC, I think they're gonna have big seasons. It's just must see baseball. It's must see. and I'm glad that my ass was there to see it.
I'm glad you were too, and I'm glad that you took time out of your nude schedule to join us this morning. It's our pal. Listen, I'll just keep it to myself. Adam Jones joins us on Ben and Woods this morning. Let me ask you a question, and I think it's maybe a bit loaded question and maybe a tough question to answer. Why are Americans so afraid to show emotion playing baseball, Adam?
Because they think that they think that the fans are going to say something. They think that old Johnny sitting his ass there in the third row is going to be like, hey, I don't like that kind of baseball. You just respect the game. Man, shut the hell up, okay? It's a new era, all of sports. It's a new era. When I seen, they were showing the highlights of the whole WBC, and I seen Bogarts hit a home run and did the sweep that Ronaldo does to his team. Like, man, have fun. It's a game. That's one thing. When people remember that baseball, at the end of it, you go to a baseball game, you want to see some fun. And I don't care who you are, not one person in the stands any day had showed or made any complaint towards anything. And I get it. Through 162, because we have these conversations. Through 162, no, you can't do this. Okay,
yeah.
You're not hitting a home run throwing your back when it's May 24th. Right. You're not doing that. You're getting ear holes.
You get burned out. It's just too much. Yeah, it's too much.
Exactly. But you mean to tell me if you hit a big home run in the 8th inning, I want to see if Manny hits the big home run in the 8th inning. I want to see those guys. You don't necessarily need to be at home plate like college,
right?
But I need to see those guys in front of that dugout showing some emotion. What? So what? It's not showing up the team. He shouldn't have threw the damn pitch. It's not. You know what I mean? Nobody showed up anybody in this tournament. But when we get back to our teams, you're gonna have old Billy Boy that says, "Oh man, I don't like that. I need the Latin players. Y'all do this too much. The American players, I need like the fans are dictating what they want to see. No, the players is gonna dictate what your eyes see, and it needs to be more fun."
Yeah, it does.
But don't you think the younger generation, I guess, it's not, and I don't mean just kids, but I do feel like more people would like to see that excitement than it's the minority now that are going to be Billy sitting in the third row saying, I don't want to see that flare, right? Like we're in progress.
There's progress.
San Diego season last year, man, if people are sitting during the game, slap the hell out of them. Okay? Like people need to be standing, man. When there's 2 strikes on hitters, everybody stands up in these games. It's the first inning. Like Venezuela, Martin Perez came out with through 2/3. He's a major league pitcher. Their fans still stood and clapped him. You know, if Lance Lynn did that, they would boo, get your ass off of it. There's a difference. It's a pride difference. American, like watching the game last night, I'm just in the stands watching. Team Japan's fans can get them going. Team of USA fans cannot get them going. Like we got a hit. Okay, the hit forces them to react. Opposed to let's stand up and root our team on. We need a rally. We are going to present the noise to get the guys going. And the guys look back and be like, oh wait, we're right behind you. It wasn't like that. And that sucks. But once we start getting a rally, okay, then they're going to stand up. The other countries stand up before the rally starts. They're the rally. That's the difference.
Yeah,
America needs to adopt that.
We're a big.
And I think they will.
We're a big show me first. We're way big on. All right, show me first, and then I'll get excited.
Exactly.
And then I'll react, and that is really the inherent difference. It really makes sense in my head now that you said it. Instead of showing up ready to just rage and support no matter what, it's like, all right, no, you need to string together a couple. And then you're going to get me out of my seat. I paid for this ticket. There's a real gladiator sense to it. There's a real, I'm sitting in the crowd and I paid my money. Entertain me.
Entertain me. Yeah, opposed to, I'm here to support you.
And I love you and I want this team to win.
To support you.
We're lucky enough to be here to watch you.
Yeah.
I bought this big ass flag. I came here. I brought the bongos of the Mexican fans. Look, here's the thing. I don't know how you made so much noise in that stadium because those are instruments and those are metal and they have metal detectors.
Yeah.
How the hell they bring?
I don't even know how you got it in.
There's at least about 20,000 people like the noise. I'm just like, how did you get this in? You can't.
Now, I wanted to ask you. We're talking to Adam Jones here on Ben and Woods this morning. You heard Mike Trout after the game, and he said Yeah, my next. He's already committed to the next one. He said, "I'm in."
Yeah, he always says that now.
Yeah, I'm absolutely in. And he goes, "I'm going to make sure more guys buy in." Is the lack of buy-in from the United States, and I think specifically, Adam, with maybe the pitchers, is there's just too much on the line. There's too much at risk. Guys are in contract years. Guys are going for a World Series. Why is that?
A lot of the best pitchers are older. Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander.
I don't blame those cats. They're 40-something years old. I don't blame those guys at all. But some of the young guns, it's like, man, it'd be nice to see these guys out there.
I was wondering, again, a Musgrove, like he hurt his foot. I don't know if he was on the preliminary roster or not. That's a guy I would love to have.
100%.
Max Fried. That's a guy I would love to have. Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff. I get Burns is going through his arbitration and probably wants to wring his GM's neck. I get that. But come do it get away from them for 3 weeks and come pitch for 2
wouldn't that be a great way to stick it to him? Be like, I'm gonna go play for another
like,
game.
Like, okay, good. I'm out. I'm going to play
am.
for Team USA. See you in 3 weeks. I get both sides of it. Gerald Laird last night was just going off on Instagram or Facebook about the passion of the other guys, and we American players don't want to do this. I know he had a few, but he's not wrong because you want our best. And again, there's no discredit to the players that played. When I played, they said, "Why didn't y'all play?" Well, y'all said no, and I got Gold Gloves too. Kiss my ass. Yep. But like. You want what you want, but sometimes those guys don't want to do it. And again, Scherzer threw 7 innings the other day. You mean to tell me you can't throw 4 here? We just throw 4. Again, it's a different agreement. I get it. I get it.
I saw the same thing. He went 7 in a spring training game. I'm
7.
like, what's going on now? Obviously, they're getting him stretched out for opening day, but like you said, you can't go 4 for us. We need you bad.
Just give us 4, brother.
Nothing
Max
against
Fried's up the road, Max.
Nothing against
a couple innings, man.
Nothing against Merrill Kelly and Adam Wainwright's 48 years old and out there trying to get it done. Dude, I loved it. I loved your passion on Twitter about it. I love you getting in the mix with people and defending it. And honestly, the more I see it, the less it needs defending to me.
What better ambassador for the WBC than Adam Jones?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you're still
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is the ambassador. So that's a little precedent.
fair enough. But everybody, at least in America, you think of
Daddy Yankee. Yeah, Daddy Yankee.
You think of Team USA World Baseball Classic. You're the first name that pops up, man. And so for you to be out there clapping back at Keith Olbermann and guys like that, dude, it's just like, come on.
Old man yelling at the damn cloud.
At the cloud. That's it, man. Well, we appreciate you very much. Get back in bed, get you some orange juice, some coffee, whatever you need, and we will talk to you very soon. Oh, by the way, It is
a Wednesday today.
It's a Wednesday today, which is usually your day. Not to put you on the spot, we're gonna keep this thing rolling throughout the season, yeah, because we need you this season. This is gonna be a big one here.
As long as you got cases of 394 stacked.
We got
somewhere
it
in the locker.
I got a stack in your personal locker.
We got
here.
You got an office here you don't know about.
You're good.
Nothing but 394
awesome.
for you.
We got you, buddy.
Let's bring back the segment. Where in the hell is Adam Jones?
Yeah. Forrest Gump. Forrest Jones. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you very much.
Always.
All right.
Thanks,
a good
AJ.
one. 5-time Major League Baseball All-Star Adam Jones, friend of the program. I love his insight. I love it. Our buddy Mailman Rob just made a good point. He says, I think it has a lot to do with the American players, especially the pitchers. It ruined the fun in the game. They bitch and moan about any type of celebration on the field. I believe that's why other countries have so much fun, because they embrace it. Here's the thing, though, and this I know to be true, Paulie. In Cuba, in Venezuela, in the Dominican Republic, if a guy pimps a home run, it's not like, by the way, no Dominican player has ever said, don't pimp a homer off me. You're going to wear one in the ribs. It happens.
Right.
It happens all the time. They don't actually take it personally, though. It's more of like a part of the game. Does that make sense? Like, oh, okay, well, watch this. And the guy wears it.
It's understood. It's part of the game.
The guy kind of wears it, and he's like, all right, I deserve that. And they just move on. There's not this.
Then here in America, you got Madison Bumgarner, who, if you don't run the first base the right way,
right, he gets mad.
He's going to get all.
I mean, it's and I guess there's part of that what makes baseball beautiful is there's so many different personalities, and it all comes together in this big pot and see how it works. But yeah, man, I look at that, and I look at what Arozarena did, and I look at what Shohei did, and I just go, This is the baseball that I want to see.
Look at what Tatis is going to do in 3 years.
No question. Yeah, look what Tatis is going to do this season. In the WBC. Yeah. But like at Petco Park, there's no shortage of swag, and with this squad, and they went out and showed it yesterday.
It sucks. Like if you took away the swag but left the talent, if it was even because I do think that the talent is fed by some of the swag.
Yeah. Well, you'd have
just the most boring team. They'd win a lot of games. You'd have the Dodgers. You'd have the Dodgers. If you had Soto with all his ability but no shuffle, big smile.
They're the most swagless team in baseball.
If you had Tatis,
and he had
his ability, but no chains,
good.
And he's not having fun. He's not dancing in the outfield or anything like that.
Stutter stepping.
None of that. But you still have the talent.
Well, the problem, Paulie, inherently is that many people still to this day, and I'm not crapping on your opinion if you feel this way. I'm really not. I'm just telling you I don't feel this way. There's part of me that used to. There's many people that say, well, that's why I like the Dodgers. They do things the right way.
So you just said in chat, well, you would love Mike Trout. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mike Trout, though, now different than Mike Trout 3 years ago. He's different.
Yeah. I think if Mike Trout had this year's WBC experience 10 years ago,
there's different. And by the way, there's
different
different kinds of swag. If you don't think Mike Trout is swaggy, you don't watch baseball. Bro, that guy struts like he's walking down a runway. Like he
does it differently. He does it his way.
Yeah. He's modeling a Hugo Boss suit. When that guy walks around, he knows he's one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. He knows it. He absolutely does. You can't play that game at that level and be that good and not know it. So he doesn't beat his chest. He doesn't do cartwheels in the outfield. That's not his game, but he's got some swag to him as well. There's no question about it. So I'm not telling you your opinion's wrong. I just love that kind of baseball, man. I love it. It's just full of passion. It's full of fervor. It's full of life, and it's what sports ultimately are meant to be. So that's my soapbox. If you disagree, you can call 833-288-0973.
About this, we're up against it a little bit. We're going to have a short don't do this. Let's just focus, unless you've got a couple stories that I don't know about.
I got one.
Okay, I wanted to get back to the broadcast last night. That could be a don't do this.
Then that's two. They're both from the WBC. So We'll do a WBC.
WBC rolling.
WBC DDT next on Ben and Woods. All right, welcome back to Ben and Woods. Don't do this is it's time for Don't Do This. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. We've got a golf tournament. Tickets go on sale today at 10. And we're still trying to find out exactly what link to send you. You can follow us on social media at Ben and Woods on Twitter. We'll be retweeting it from our personal pages as well. I believe, and I'll clarify when I get the clarification. 97.3 thefansd.com/golf. I believe that link get you to where you want to be in just 2.5 hours. I have a feeling that's going to sell out. It sold out last year or the last time we did it in almost no time at all. So listen, I wanted to start with Don't Do This with old friend Bob Nightingale. He's had a bit of a rough one again last night. I did not like this tweet about Yu Darvish, who, by the way, I think we will get into the Yu Darvish situation with the San Diego Padres coming up later in the program. He tweeted this last night, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. When Yu Darvish came in, I believe he got an out and gave up the bomb to Kyle Schwarber, which brought back horrible memories for Padre fans of the playoffs. I mean, some guys just have your number, and Kyle Schwarber seems to have Yu's number. Put together a phenomenal at bat, was fouling pitches off, was just kind of waiting for his pitch. Now, I was talking actually the brief conversation I had with Ben in the car today on the way to the airport. He said, well, yeah, I mean, you can't walk him. No, you don't want to bring the tying run to the plate. So you got to kind of battle him a little bit. And Schwarber, took him deep. Schwarber's a really good home run hitter. It's what he does best. And he's kind of got Yu's number and sees him really well. So he gave up the bomb. No harm, no foul. Bob Nightingale tweets, perhaps this is why Japan elected not to start Yu Darvish tonight. And I thought to myself, well, why? He gave up a home run to a home run hitter, and he's also coming in an inning, and he's not a relief pitcher, Bob. You know that. We've all been following Yu Darvish's career for, more than a decade.
15 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like the dude's been in the league a long time. He's a starter. He's a starting pitcher. He prepares differently. I'm sure he wasn't exactly pleased about his role on Team Japan. That being said, he was elated when they won the championship, and he had a big part in it. And, I know he threw limited innings, but Yu Darvish is a huge, huge piece of that team. So I thought to myself, why? Because he gave up one home run? Like, he didn't walk the bases loaded like the Adam guy from Team USA. He didn't come in and not know what he was doing. He gave up a home run. It happens to the best of them, Bob. And
to Kyle Schwarber. All that guy does is
that's all he does. He just hits bombs, especially off Yu Darvish. He's got combined 14 miles of home runs off of Yu Darvish in his career. I hated it. I was so mad. It really chapped me reading that tweet from Bob Nightingale.
Yeah, I'll keep it rolling here in the WBC. So I'm talking about John Smoltz.
We have to.
You and I made a pact before the game started. Let's listen closely.
Let's try to listen intently. And I said that to Paul, and just to pull the curtain back, I had my fantasy baseball draft at the same time. It was very hard to do both and be a dad and a husband. My wife was none too pleased last night, and my kids weren't either. So I had the game on. I had my computer open, drafting potentially the worst team that you've ever seen. I hate it. It's like I might as well light my money on. It's the worst team you've ever seen.
Gotta make some trades.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Send your roster to AJ Preller. And
nobody wants to trade with me because, well, my team is horrendous. So I'm trying to watch, and then all of a sudden I see Twitter go crazy. And I
texted you.
Yeah, Paulie texted me. He goes, "Did you hear that?" And I go, "Nope."
I was like, did I just hear that correctly? Before the video was posted on social media, I go, did I just hear that? It was weird. We said, all right, let's listen very closely throughout the game to Smoltz. I swear to God, that guy goes like 8 minutes at a time without just talking. Like, I was like, I haven't heard him in minutes, but I did hear this.
He will literally fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah. I did hear this gem.
This is amazing.
I mean, it's hard to argue with this strategy from John Smoltz on the WBC broadcast on FS1 last night.
I just felt the way that the Team USA roster is built, they would have to outscore their opponents to win.
I mean,
all right, one more time.
I just felt the way that the Team USA roster is built, they would have to outscore their opponents to win.
So I think if I'm going to parse it out, typically when you win a baseball game, you want to have more runs than the other team. I think if I speak a little bit of Smoltz, and I'm an
Has
amateur.
any team ever won a game without scoring more runs than the other team?
No. I think what he was trying to say, and I speak a little bit of, I'm not fluent in Smoltz, but I've heard enough Smoltz to get a general idea. I think what he was saying is our pitching's not good enough. We're going to have to drub teams 10-2, 10-5, 10
So
to
why
7.
not say that?
Right. I think maybe he was even maybe potentially. This is I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit, because here's the thing about John Smoltz. I don't know that he likes new baseball at all, and I think that's a problem as you're trying to grow the game. We've had this conversation before. I love the way Mud and Don do it, and that every time I watch somebody else, I realize how spoiled we are. Everybody says that. They're the best at what they do. But I think that's what he was really trying to say, Paul. The way that this roster was constructed. Do it again. Does he say roster or lineup?
Lineup.
I just felt the way that the Team USA roster is built, they would have to outscore their opponents to win.
What he's saying in code is our pitching sucks. Our pitching is not up to par with our lineup, and we're going to have to, Captain obviously, score more runs than the other team to win games. It's it's a very basic statement. It's a very Captain obvious statement. That's not even my biggest problem with John Smoltz is doing a Captain obvious. I've done a lot of Captain obvious myself in my career. Ben, big Captain obvious guy. We all are in this business. I think he was trying to protect the pitchers and say, yeah, we need to drub teams because our pitching just isn't good enough. There's just not enough big names and superstars in this team. My biggest problem with John Smoltz is the fact that he hates the game of baseball now and most of the players playing it. That's pretty much my biggest problem. No DD Magadudu today because I didn't find one that was up to par. Plus, we're very late.
Ben and Woods Open goes on sale in 2.5 hours.
That's a DD Magadudu.
DD Magadudu.
There you go.
Very excited, very nervous. Please buy tickets. Please buy foursomes. Come out and have a good time with us on April 6th at RBI. As soon as I get that link for you guys, we'll be able to post it at 10.
What can we tell anybody that's on the fence about joining the tournament? What are they going to experience at the Ben and Woods Open? Can we talk about some of the raffle prizes?
Yeah. Oh man, we're getting even more prizes coming in. We've got
the swag bag alone is sick.
The swag bag alone, you guys are gonna love it. And
you're getting a custom polo, and I don't mean like some $5.
No, it's Travis Matthews
Gildan thing that you're gonna throw away.
Yeah.
This is a very nice polo.
It is. It's gonna be sick.
It's worth half the price of the admission right there.
Yeah, no doubt. And we're gonna be out there all day, hanging out, having drinks post game, post round. It's the day of the Masters too, I'm sure. And it's just going to be about golf and being together and being with the tier ones. And my dad's flying in for it. It's really special. It's a special thing as much as we all love the game of golf and want to share that with you guys. Here's the other thing. It's a scramble. You don't have to be good. You can get in a group, play with guys that are better, make some putts, man, and you'll contribute. Like everybody contributes in a scramble. That's what's so fun about it. But
you do need at least one buddy though.
Yeah. I don't know that we can sign up singles yet.
I don't believe that is an option. I think it makes sense if you had a bunch of threesomes and a bunch of solos, you could probably pair them up together, but then there's going to be a twosome and then a threesome.
Right.
We need to keep even numbers. So we are, the tickets are being sold in twosomes and foursomes. So you got 2.5 hours to get that figured out, but 10 o'clock they go on sale. The link is hot at 10 a.m. and bro, if you wait till 10:05,
you may not get
in. If you wait till 10:30, you probably certainly won't get in.
There's also an opportunity to play with me and my dad separate. There's a chance to play with Ben and his dad separate, and there's a chance to play with Paul and his buddy Roger, who's flying down from Seattle for this. And yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit extra, but if you want,
say it's about a little bit over $100
$100 extra, which is not bad. It's not an auction, so you're not going to be
first come first serve.
First come first serve, man.
On those three,
you want to play with us, you'll have your chance. Maybe you hate me and you want to punch me in the face. This is your opportunity.
Accidentally hit your ball right at Woods.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is your big moment out there.
If you want to win, but be made fun of the whole time on the course, maybe sign up with Ben.
Potentially.
He trash talks like a mother.
He does, even to his own teammates.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will we'll have more information as the morning progresses. But yeah, we want to see you guys out there. It's just such a special day for us, and it's just about being together with all of you guys out on the golf course in nature and really having a few pops and having a good day. So, all right, we will be right back here on Ben and Woods. I want to talk about this Yu Darvish situation. I want to talk about our beloved San Diego Padres next. Let's take your calls. I'm still
we got a lot of good news yesterday about some of the injury updates.
Yeah, there's good news to share, but
they didn't make me feel super great still.
The Yu Darvish consternation, and I'm still seeing it on the timeline right now. Call in 833-288-0973. Let's talk about it because I said it yesterday. I'm going to echo it again. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about April 6th right now. I'm just not. So call us now. If you're mad, you think the WBC did, you a big disservice. If he's not going to be ready, how concerned are you? You can call us next. We're going to talk some Padres here on Ben and Woods. Be right back. Replace your afternoon coffee with a 5-Hour Energy. It's perfect when you're feeling coffeeed out and your stomach will thank you. Discover 5-Hour Energy. Learn more at 5hourenergy.com. Paulie, let's check traffic with Kelly Danick. Roads actually look all right from here up in our
certainly clearing up a little
in
bit.
our ivory tower. I mean, it looks semi-nice outside.
Still wet.
Maybe this crap is gone. But let's check in with Kelly Danick. We'll come back. Let's talk some Padres baseball. I want to hear from you guys. 833-288-0973. Are you really worried about Yu Darvish and the San Diego Padres on April 6th? We're going to go there before the season even starts? Call me. Let's talk about it. Let's check traffic first.
From the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Bob's Discount Furniture. Fortunately, our freeways are looking pretty good all around the county. We do have some closures all due to flooding various parts, though, so just keep that in mind in your travels. Also in the North County, they're still clearing an overturned crash on the Gopher Canyon off-ramp, southbound 15 and northbound 15, clearing a vehicle fire near Mission Road. Bob's Discount Furniture, home of the world-famous Bob Orthopedic mattresses with all the comfort and quality of a national mattress brand for half the price. No matter your budget, there's a Bob Orthopedic memory foam, hybrid or hybrid plus mattress for you. Check them out at mybobs.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Thank you, Kelly Danick. So obviously we here at 97.3 The Fan and the Ben & Woods program, I mean, nothing makes me happier, Paulie, than talking baseball. As a show, I feel like everyone's been a little bitchy at each other over the last few months. When the season ends, you got so close to a World Series. You know, the offseason's great. It's always great here in San Diego. You get new players and spend money, and it's fun. It's fun now to be a San Diego Padres fan. In fact, it's the greatest. It's the greatest thing ever to be a San Diego Padres fan. Are we getting too nervous about the season ahead? Because again, I think there's a lot of expectations, and with a lot of expectations, there comes a lot of pressure. And not just pressure on the players, the fans. You're a wreck. We're all a wreck. We want to see what this looks like. You go to bed at night dreaming of those first four. You wonder, man, you let your mind go throughout I do at least throughout the day. I'm like, watch Cronenworth hit like 30 bombs. Watch Ha-Seong Kim hit 20. Watch Nola hit 20. Watch Grisham get back into form. Could this team win 115 games? You let your mind go there. Then conversely, you go, I don't know if the pitching is going to hold up. I don't know. Is Manny going to do what he did last year? Is Tatis going to be okay? Like you can definitely catastrophize in your mind and see it, where you lose 100 games. It seems impossible. But one thing baseball has shown us over the years is you just never know, and championships aren't won on paper. But I don't know how you could look at the news you got yesterday from Bob Melvin as anything other than good news. When he spoke to the media.
Good news.
What does Ben call it?
Good news. It's
good to news.
Good to news.
Good to news with Bob. New segment.
Good to news.
Good to news for Bob Melvin and the San Diego Padres. We had kind of suspected that Austin Nola would be okay, and it sounds like he might be.
He's in an MRI tube
Juan
as we
Soto.
speak.
Oh, this is
He
Soto.
was
Sorry.
earlier today. We're thinking it's fairly mild, which hopefully is the case. Backside, kind of precautionary to get out of there, and hopefully we caught a break on that.
Will your catcher start the season with you?
There is a chance. There is a chance he could be in a game before we leave here. So I don't know if you've seen him. It's remarkable to me. There's a slight fracture on the nasal bone or whatever they're calling it, but no black eyes, not a ton of swelling.
How does that happen?
Pretty remarkable. So he could be doing baseball activity as soon as tomorrow or the next day. Mild. Obviously, we don't want any setbacks as far as this went, but I'm shocked.
His position, how does that kind of affect proceedings going forward? Because that's a tough spot. It's a tough spot to have to deal with the catcher.
The one, if it gets hit again, then it could be a potential issue, but that's why he wears a mask, right? And hopefully at the plate, he's had some protection there with the flap and such.
Not super fun to dig in, I imagine, after wearing, 90 plus to the face.
We say it all the time. These guys are professionals. They've been doing it all their life. They can get back in there. But they got to be at least a small part of you.
Yeah. The first time.
The first
curveball that somebody throws him and that ass goes out and you turn and you're like, oh, that's a strike. I mean, it's and also like Bob said, he's behind behind the dish and he's got the mask on and a foul ball rattles that cage a little bit. Who knows how it's going to feel then. But yeah, like he said, it's remarkable the recovery that he's had. The Soto one, I mean, that's about as good a news as you can hope for. Apparently he was in the cage, took a swing, and he goes, nope, and like knew it right then, didn't try to push through it, which fantastic, man. More guys should do that. Like,
well, here was what Bob Melton, that was before the game yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was a night game. So later on in the night after the game, on the field, Bob was talking with some of the media members, and Sammy posted this clip with a little update on Juan Soto.
Soto's MRI?
Yeah, it's minimal. So, we'll see what happens in the next couple days, but, no, significant oblique inflammation, and, we'll see how he feels tomorrow and maybe have a bat in his hand the next couple days.
All right. So great news. Great news. I did ask for calls. If you guys want to talk about Yu Darvish. So he'll be back with the team. He trained in Japan. And listen, he was by all accounts going to be your opening day starter. He has not thrown a ton of innings, so he's probably not ready for opening day. I don't know what their plan's going to be moving forward, but I've seen a lot of people. I don't know if they're upset at the WBC, if they're upset with Team Japan, if they're upset with you, if they're bummed out that he's not going to be able to make that start. I just am not worried about it.
To be bummed with Team Japan for his usage, is that strictly on he just didn't get a lot of innings and he didn't get ramped up? Because I could also see the other side of that coin being he wasn't at risk for injury because he didn't pitch that much, right?
Well,
like
the thing
did
is,
you want him going 7 innings every other day?
How much ramp up does a guy like Yu Darvish need? I think you can tell I think you can tell Bob Melvin, this is what I'm capable of today. He puts in so much work. That's why I'm not overwhelmed with disappointment about this. But we got some callers on the line. Maybe they feel differently. Who do we got?
Let's go. We'll start with Chris.
Chris, good morning, buddy. How are you?
What's up, gentlemen? How are you today?
Man, we are hanging in. So are you worried? Are you bummed? Like, how are you feeling about the Yu Darvish situation?
Not one bit. If last year taught us anything, patience. There's in the immortal words of Aaron Rodgers, relax. I mean, look back to July and August of last year. We had the hype after all the big trades, the trading deadline, and got the hot start. And all of a sudden, they kind of went into this lull, and everybody was freaking out. And like I said, if last year proved nothing, it's consistency and get hot at the right time. And that's pretty much in every sport is the hot team at the right time.
That's right.
For me, it's what I want to see is like the Astros last year, just a consistent. Now, if we get off to a 10-25 start, then okay, let's talk about it. But once the Astros they were just consistent. Obviously, the Dodgers, set a record with their win total. How'd that work out? The year before that, the Giants set a record with their win total. How did that work out? So, to me, it's just consistency. It's 162. It's a marathon. You are undoubtedly going to have slumps in the middle of the season. We're going to be calling you guys going, what's wrong with our offense? We're going to be calling, well, what's wrong with our defense? And then come playoff time, that's what it's all about, is just consistency throughout the season. I am a little worried about the starting pitching, but I think A.J. Preller is a smart guy. And obviously he's constructed an offense that's undeniable. We're going to score runs. Better than that, even if you look around that infield, that defense with Troney at first and Ha-Song at second. I mean, that defense, to me, I looked it up. Here's a quick fact for you. You know what team had the most Golden Gloves on one team in the season?
No.
It's actually more recent than you think. It's the 2021 St. Louis Cardinals had 5 Golden Glovers on their team. It's an odd fact, but it's a true fact. I got a feeling you throw a Gold Glove at any of those infield positions, maybe Toddy, who's Superboy in right field, and you got a center fielder who's already got you got a shot to win 4 or 5 Gold Gloves just watching that. I'm probably the only one in the county that's excited about watching that defense.
No,
but
you're not.
I think, and now you don't have the shift. You're going to have guys making web gym plays on a nightly. I can't wait to watch this defense.
I love the call, man.
And I do want to throw in one last comment.
Sure.
You guys were yesterday talking about nicknames for the Four Horsemen.
Yes.
I got one for you.
Okay.
I'm going to piggyback off of Mark Grant's my favorite line when the Padres have bases loaded, and he says the bases are loaded drunk with monks.
Drunk with
How
monks.
about the Monk Mashers or the Mashers of Monk?
The Mashers of Monk is pretty solid.
It's not bad.
Pretty solid. Chris, that was we don't rack calls here like Romy does, but if we did, I would say Paulie rack Chris.
'em.
Rack 'em. It's a good bit. That's a really good bit. Rack the callers.
What can we do?
Well, we could steal and just call it something else.
We'll think of
something.
A different word.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great call. He's not worried at all. And I think it's just the baseball fan way to be over concerned. The season's not going to be won or lost on opening day. It's just not. And the pitching rotation, by the way, once you lock it in, you're not committed to it. It's not.
Right.
It's not.
Padres are going to have more than 5 pitchers with starts.
Correct. You
in
don't
the stat category.
You can rejigger. You can move things around. I think maybe maybe the opponent plays into it too. Like it's the Rockies. Our 3, 4, 5 should be able to handle business against the Colorado Rockies. They should. If you needs to wait and Joe needs to wait, and okay, I mean,
dude, if you give me
Snell,
Martinez, and then you on Saturday,
even
fine.
that's fine. Yeah,
Fine.
I mean, I have no problem with that. What it's going to take, and he mentions the Astros, it is consistency. It is a 162 game season. Tranquilo, hijo. Like Fernando says, just chill. Like I don't. Did it throw a little curveball at us? Yeah, it's a little bit of a curveball, but you could be in so much worse a position than the San Diego Padres are in opening the season next week. And let's say it is Blake Snell. And then let's say it is Nick Martinez. And then let's say it's Seth Lugo or you is ready and ramped up for the weekend. Great. Fantastic. Joe misses one start. Okay. There are a million, 20, probably 26 other teams, 27 other teams that would go, great, I'll take that.
Think about like Mets fans. They lost their superstar closer for the year. And they're acting like the season's already over before it started. But ultimately, they still have a very good roster.
There's no doom and gloom.
And if Edwin Diaz going out for the season all of a sudden means you're not making the playoffs or, the doom and gloom scenario there, then your team wasn't nearly as good as you thought they were.
And the other thing, too, that you have to keep in mind is that to win a World Series, you're going to have to overcome a ton of adversity. And this isn't even that much adversity. But what it does is you go to Blake Snell.
On the grand scheme of things, this is nothing.
It's nothing. You go to Blake Snell and you say, all right, man, you're here. You've been here. You put in good work this spring. You had, rough outing the other night, whatever. It's going to happen to the best of them. Bro, go out there and shove game one. Give us 5 innings on opening day. And let's turn it over to our bullpen that's also full of all-stars and huge power arms. And let's go beat the Colorado Rockies, who are projected to lose 100 games. Let's go do that. Blake, you got the ball day one. Go out and shove. Does anybody feel like they got cheated opening day? I don't. I don't at all. Like I don't feel like I wasted my money by going to see Blake Snell if it ends up being him. That guy accused me of telling people how to fan. I'm not. I'm telling you how I'm going to fan. I'm just going to fan kind of day by day, game by game. You're going to have to overcome a ton of adversity to win a World Series. Period. The end. It never goes smooth for 162. It doesn't. Guys are going to get hurt. They're going to get dinged up. So we can keep this rolling if you want, whatever you guys want to do. But we do need to get to our tournament of drops. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. We've had a moment here on Ben and Woods. We're going to get into it next. We'll share the results. And as your president, I will be making a formal speech next. All right, we're halfway home on a Wednesday. It's Woodsy and Paul. Ben is in the air right now, headed to Minneapolis, and then he'll connect on his way to Pinehurst to go play some of the best golf in the country. Very jealous of him. And we are here now. Paulie, it's a big day on Ben and Woods. So many different reasons. But, first and foremost, the Tournament of Drops is something we came up with years ago. We love playing drops on the show. They always make me laugh. I mean, there's still people that don't like them. I get it. That's fine. Thanks for sticking through it and listening to us anyway. They always make me laugh. They make me giggle. It's fun to pull out little clips and use them throughout the year. Paulie does a really, really great job at that and knowing when to use them. They're just phenomenal. And so what we would get so many in a year, we decided to seed them in a bracket, let you guys vote on your favorites. I will say some of the voting shocks me. Some of the voting surprises me. But in a democracy, the only thing that really matters, Paulie, is that you, the tier ones, get to decide and you get to vote. And this was the closest that we've ever come.
Past champions, Bo Woods.
Yep.
Don Orsillo. I don't remember the other. There was one other winner, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's all because of you guys.
Yep.
The votes this year were
through the roof.
Through the roof.
Through the roof.
But man, we need to have conversation.
It just goes to show you that, just like the NCAA tournament, guys get in a room and they pit teams against each other, and that there are guys in that room and women in that room that look at each other and they go, I mean, this is going to be a laugher. This is a laugher. And then what happens? Purdue goes and they lose.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, we all had our favorites. I had several favorites. This was our best year we've ever done it. Let's do, before we get to the results, Paulie, let's do a quick look back at the entire field. Yeah, this is what we do.
Is it extra sweet because it's against the Dodgers?
Morning, guys.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
Big dumper come Fernando. I didn't even get a free meatball out of the deal. It's flapping. There it is. Where are these cream pies coming from?
Hold on. Remix.
Rams.
Bob Millen.
That was good.
All right. Did you catch a game last night? Do you like hot fudge sundaes? Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite. Is it still hot out there?
Okay, how are you?
We are winning the World Series in 2022.
I love Ben and Woods.
Finally, the chance for somebody to get on and do some good sports talk radio.
Oh, yeah, the Padres won.
There it was. Glory hole.
The series is over.
Let's go San Diego. Good morning, everybody.
Look at Nelly Cruz. Suck it.
Are you ready to blast the moon?
Toilets! That's what's in.
So, sports. There it is.
What a field.
Entire field, man. And there's some straight bangers in there. And honestly, I thought it would be a Carving Guy Final Four. It wasn't. Carving Guy didn't even make the finals, but we had these. We
only had one in the Final Four.
Yeah,
right?
we had these two pitted against each other. Paulie, play the final two combatants.
So we had on the left side of the bracket from the Ben region, your 4 seed.
Good morning, everybody.
Juan Soto greeting Padres PR every morning, coming out to do the video. There's a multitude of those clips, Good morning. And funny, hysterical, loved it. Thought it was a great drop.
And that was going up against the 1 seed from the Adam region.
Is it extra sweet because it's against the Dodgers?
Our boss in the locker room after beating the Dodgers.
NLDS. Game 4, Saturday night.
In the locker room, champagne, Bud Lights flowing everywhere. It was insane. And he's screaming at our owner, was it extra sweet because it was against the Dodgers, because, the Seidler connection to the Dodgers.
And let me pull up, because we actually have 2 Adam drops there, because the first time he says, was it extra sweet, which is right here.
Is it extra sweet because it's against the Dodgers?
That one may be better. I wonder if we had put that one
I
in.
still like the second one better.
The screaming.
Because then Peter Seidler leans in.
What?
What? Put hand to the ear.
Huh?
What are you saying to me, kid? And then
is it extra sweet because it's against the Dodgers?
So So that's what we had. Those were the two facing off, and we let the tier ones decide. And Paulie, please crown our 2023 champion in the Tournament of Drops.
Well, with a record set number of votes and a very close final results, you, the tier ones, by a vote of 50.7%, have chosen Juan Soto, the 4 seed, as the 4th annual Tournament of Drops champion.
Good morning, everybody.
There it is.
Congratulations to Juan Soto.
We have a prize for you. We can
save that.
Maybe we'll see you at opening day.
We really jumped the gun because we had a whole thing planned if Adam won, and he did not win. And so it's kind of thrown a monkey wrench into our plans, Paulie. And, you know, in this tumultuous time in our country, you know, the voting process has been called into question many times in, you know, recent history. And as your president, Paulie, I mean,
is there anything that can be done?
I have absolute power.
Do a recount.
A recount. I have the power to do it. And my team spent all night writing this speech, and I want to show you something. I don't need this speech. I'm going to speak from the heart today. I'm going to roll up my sleeves as your president and do what I've done since I've taken office. You know, at a time when we could be tempted to give in and give up, you guys decided instead to give it your all. In a contest that has this level of voter suppression and voter intimidation, we made those who have been shut out in this democracy our priority. While the results may not be what many of us expected, it's important that we remain together, unified. And as your president, I cannot, Paulie, cast aspersions on the very method that afforded me this opportunity to lead you, our beloved tier ones. We just want a contest where people are free enough and healthy enough to be able to pursue their potential and rise to fulfill their true promise. A contest where we're not defined or divided based on our differences, but find the common interests for the common good. And I will be crowning the champion today. And the champion, Paulie, is Juan Soto. He won fair and square against, in my opinion, a superior drop, as it were, a funnier drop. But the love that this city has shown Juan Soto in his brief time for the San Diego Padres, that's what won. Love won. At the end of the day, love won. And Juan Soto is your champion. So congratulations to Juan. I know this is a huge accomplishment for you. And that's your winner. And as your president, yeah, I could come in here and I could, you know, maybe incite veto it or incite a mob. Today, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you guys that I appreciate you voting. I appreciate you caring so much, being so opinionated. I will say that you've shaken my confidence to the core, though I didn't know so many people hated Carving Guy, which I think is the pinnacle of comedy.
Yeah,
I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever heard, and so many people were so glad it was done. So yeah, you've rattled my confidence a little bit, to be sure. But at the end of the day, man, this is why we do the show. For you tier ones, it was your decision. You made the call. Adam, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you lost. He was bummed.
I was pulling for him, man.
I was too. He needed.
This is all he has.
It really is. He needed a dub.
Yeah.
He needed a dub in the worst way. So that didn't happen. But listen, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. And now we start again. We start collecting the ones for next year. And we've already got some bangers. We have some absolute bangers already that have come recently. So excited about it as usual for next year. I love the Tournament of Drops. It's such a blast. And it's done. It's now officially over. And now we can focus on the real tournament, Paulie, the NCAA tournament. And that's what everyone in this town is super excited about, as the Aztecs will play on Friday. Very, very excited about that game. Talked to Sam Scholl yesterday. He was great. Love talking to Sam. Confident. And again, I was really confident in Adam. I thought Adam had a good game plan going into that finals.
I'm confident in the Aztecs.
I mean, it was a last.
But I don't know anything anymore.
Right. Nobody knows anything. It was a last-second shot, by Juan Soto, and he got the job done. Strained, oblique, and all, still managed to win the tournament of drops. So congratulations.
Bro, I'm embarrassed at how often I was checking the poll last night.
Same.
Every hour I was checking in on it. Oh, we've gotten 300 more votes.
I couldn't believe how close
it was. So split. I swear to God, from noon on until I went to sleep last night, every time I checked, it was 48%, 52%, 49%, 51%. It was so close.
Now, Adam just tweeted, it says stunned doesn't begin to describe my emotions right now. I'm sorry. Call us, Adam, if you want, 833-288-0973. You know the number. You can get it off your chest and talk to the tier ones directly. But listen, I'm not going to come in here this morning and talk about the voting mechanisms. I'm not going to tell you that it was flawed. It was absolutely.
Was there any interference in this?
If anything, I probably tried to sway as your president, which, by the way, is fine. A president can say, vote for this person. It's called an endorsement.
Yeah.
You ever heard of it? I gave my endorsement. It didn't work. Paulie gave his endorsement. Didn't work. I expected cream pies to be in there. I expected carving guy to be in there. We all gave our endorsements. I think the tier ones like to stick it to us, by doing the opposite. Is he on the line?
Let's go out to our Premier Chevrolet
do it.
Carlsbad fan hotline. The man behind the second place, first loser drop.
Nothing wrong with
Is it extra sweet because this is against the Dodgers?
Adam, was it extra sweet because you lost to Juan Soto at least?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with silver, buddy.
If you ain't first, you're last.
It's true.
Right?
That's true.
Facts.
I guess this is me calling in and giving a concession speech.
It's exactly.
Doesn't feel great. I don't want to rip any other drops or any other people. I especially don't want to rip Juan Soto. I would have felt better if I had lost to a different drop, though. I got to be honest. If I had lost to Ben Cream Pies or Carving Guy or something, I can live with that.
By the way, we just got our boss to say, if I had lost to Ben Cream Pies on the air.
Holy
that was amazing.
Crap.
No, bro,
Maybe I'm just auditioning to try and win the tournament of drops next year.
How could you possibly? I mean, a World Series?
You screaming at Peter Seidler after a World Series win?
It's going to be incredible. Hey, next year. I mean, so was that pre-hiring of Sammy Levitt? No, Sammy was here, right?
Yeah.
No, Sam was here for the entire season
Sam was
last
here
year.
a year ago. Yesterday, he posted.
Yesterday was his 1 year
That's
anniversary.
right. So why were you in the locker room again?
Because Sam was doing post game. He was on the air.
All right. Why wasn't I in the locker room? I want to be.
I don't know. That's a great question. That's a great question.
Oh, it's because you said no. I'll handle this one.
There could have been room for both of us, Woodsy.
Damn it! I didn't know that. I was at home. I was happy. I was happy to be at home watching it.
I was on the field, but they said this is
as
far as you go.
As far as you go. Adam, you did a great job. You do a great job. It's one of the best drops I've ever heard in my life. And just because you lost, it's not retired. I mean, that thing's going to live forever and ever and ever. And certainly appreciate all that you do, my friend. We are up against the clock, and I know how important clock integrity is to you. So I will let you go, and we will
see you guys.
We will see you soon, buddy.
Bye.
Thanks, Mal. That's Adam Klug, the first loser, essentially. Lorenzo tweets in, today was the day we needed Dictator Woods, and he has let us down. That's not how I'm going to run my administration, man. I want to listen to the people out there. I listen to the people too much. I listen to the people way too much. Our audience has way too big of an effect on me. I'll admit that fully. You guys caused me to have panic attacks and have to take Xanax at 3:00 in the afternoon. All right. That's how much I care. Oh my Lord, man. He's a true gem. He's a great boss. I love him. And the fact that our boss went in there and did that and just screamed with his voice cracking at Peter Seidler, he's incredible. But congratulations to Juan Soto. I will not be overturning the results of the election. You guys did it. Coming up next, we'll do our Tier 1 tour, and we're going to fire up the bus and talk about the Padres' next opponent, the Detroit Tigers, one of those teams that you feel like you better not lose one. You foot on the throats of the Detroit Tigers. I know they've got some up-and-comers.
Might be a short segment.
Could be a short segment. We will get to that next. Thanks for tuning in. Ben and Woods 97.3 The Fan. opponents and Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, we're in July
Are
now.
we in July? What's the date on that?
That is
Home, away. What are we doing here?
It's away.
It's away in Detroit.
Can't see. Crap. I left my glasses at home.
That's all right.
Friday, July 21st.
Right after your boy's birthday. Don't
Head
forget.
to Detroit.
July 19th. Yeah, that'd be a fun birthday trip to go see the Pods take on the Tigers.
Hey, I'm in Detroit.
Look at me in Detroit. There's actually a lot of stuff in Detroit. I've been before. My dad grew up there. So it's on the come. It's on the upswing in Detroit. But yeah, for many, many years was kind of embarrassing. But the baseball team, Paulie, is not. They are not on the upswing. They are not on the come. They had a horrible season last year, and believe it or not, expected to be even worse this year. I don't know what the strategy in Detroit is. They lost 96 games in 2022. So their response this offseason was to add Matthew Boyd, Michael Lorenzen, it's Phil. Remember Phil Maton? Yeah. Nick Maton. It's his brother.
Okay.
And Matt Vierling, while gutting the best part of their team, which was the bullpen. They traded away Gregory Soto to the Phillies, Joe Jimenez, and let Andrew Chafin leave in free agency. Their best pitcher in last season, Tariq Skubal, is out. He's got a flexor tendon surgery. Their offense is really nothing to write home about other than a couple of young up-and-coming prospects. Of course, talking about Spencer Torkelson, who does have one of the best swings I have seen. He is a stud. He's first baseman.
They have Javi Baez, don't they?
Yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible. He had the worst season of his career last year.
Yeah, but he's still got he's got it in him somewhere.
So yeah, if you throw him, if why you would ever throw Javi Baez a fastball, beyond me. I have
with that lineup. Yeah,
he should never see anything that doesn't spin. Never ever throw that man a fastball because he can still hammer a fastball. But that slider, outer third, he's done. He's done every time. I couldn't get him out, but I'm not a big league pitcher. But I know that that's the game plan on Javi Baez. So, yeah, he's still an exciting guy, exciting to go watch. But you're looking at – and they've got Riley Green in center, who's another prospect that's really good. There's a couple of guys that you want to go watch when you see him. But, man, where it really gets a little dicey, their projected pitching staff, Eduardo Rodriguez, Matthew Boyd, Michael Lorenzen, Matt Manning, and Spencer Turnbull. Their bullpen is really – really depleted. It's going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough. Again, they lost 96 last year. I can't imagine them improving very much. I really can't. They've got former disgraced Astros manager AJ Hinch still at the helm, almost like banished, I think, to Detroit. It's just
that's his real punishment.
Yeah. The suspension was like, oh, well, great. I can play golf. I can do what I want. Now I have to manage the Detroit Tigers. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I'm sorry for Tiger fans out there. It's such a great storied franchise with some great teams throughout the years, but they're calling it kind of the never-ending rebuild, and that's what they're doing. And letting guys like Gregory Soto, trading guys like that, it just doesn't.
The amount of elite all-star players that the Tigers have had over the years, 15 years is staggering.
Well,
they haven't done anything.
Honestly, I think the most
Scherzer, Verlander, and Price all at the same time. With Miggy.
Yeah, with Miggy, who was really good. Then now Miggy's still on the team. They don't even have him. From what I saw, they don't even have him slotted as like their DH. Like he's coming off the bench and stuff. I mean, there's some milestones that he's looking at. So maybe that's something to look forward to. But Paulie, I'm telling you, man, if there's more than 15,000 people there on a given night, I'll be really, really surprised. Now, Padres coming to town, it's going to be fun to watch. That's going to be one of the cool things to watch this year. Because if you like star power coming to your town and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Juan Soto, Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado, Josh Hader, blah, 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 go on down the list, Yu Darvish, the Padres are going to draw. They're going to draw. It's going to be fun to see, when they play in Cincinnati, how many Padre fans are there. This is this brand that Peter Seidler and Eric Greutner and all those guys are building. They've done a great job. And the international players that we have, it's now becoming this global brand. So it's going to be fun to see how many people actually show up in Detroit to go watch the Padres. And Padres are a team that are going to put asses in seats, and that's what you want. So Tigers probably very pleased that the Padres are coming to town because people are going to buy tickets and come out and watch those games. But don't expect much from the Detroit Tigers this year at all. So that's kind of my. I honestly think they'll probably lose more than they did last year, which was a tremendous amount. There's just nothing.
So over under 96 losses. We've been doing over under on wins. We both taking the over.
I'm taking.
90.
They could lose 100 games, and probably will. They probably will. Again, though, if they're young talent, the Torkelsons of the world, the Riley Greens of the world, if they play well, hey, listen, they're not a playoff team. I would bet anything I own that they're not going to make the playoffs, even in expanded playoffs. But man, and that's a division where you're kind of bummed out. You're like, this feels like it's a division for the taking had we spent some money and made some wiser decisions. But no, the rebuild continues in Detroit. And Ben and Woods will continue next. Going to be joined by my friend Emily Nyman, host of the Breaking Balls podcast. One of my favorite Twitter follows. Follow her at She Does It. She Does It.
She's a must follow for any baseball fan.
No question. She's a beast, and very excited to welcome her to the Ben and Woods program. And that's coming up next right here. We'll be right back. extravaganza plus top technology and personnel career showcases. Register for a chance to win the VIP trip at salutefest.com. Use promo code KWFN. Those are our call letters, Paulie. KWFN.
Call sign KWFN.
Call sign KWFN. Let's check traffic. Going to be joined by Emily Nyman from Breaking Balls podcast next on Ben and Woods.
From the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Problems along the King Freeway on the westbound side, crash blocking the right lane at 30th Street, and a collision on the eastbound side at Bancroft. Looks like lanes are blocked. No details which one, but really not seeing any brake lights approaching that. Eastbound side of the 52 and the 15, tow truck is on scene of a solo vehicle accident over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us now on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline is my friend and just absolute dynamo, Emily Nyman, host of the Breaking Balls podcast. How are you?
I'm gonna unmute your
All right,
mic
now
there.
you're unmuted. Let's do that again.
Let's unmute that mic.
Emily Nyman, host of the Breaking Balls podcast.
There we go.
How are you?
I'm great. Even better now that I'm unmuted.
Now, so you live on Long Island. Can you say the name of your podcast for everyone?
It's the Breaking Balls podcast.
Bulls. Yeah, I was waiting. I wanted her to say Breaking Bulls because that's how you do it.
A very authentic Long Island.
Very authentic. Now we have a board up here, Italian Paul, also Long Island guy. Sammy Lev, I believe, who's
from that area.
He's from that area too. There's a lot of Long Island flavor here on 97.3 The Fan, and you certainly bring the flavor every day on Twitter. You are one of my favorite baseball minds in this country. I'm telling you, you're so good at what you do, and it's so good to have you.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. Ever since they signed Manny Machado in 2019, this has been my goal, is to just get my way into San Diego society. So I'm coming up in the world.
You know, it
only took a few years, but we got you.
We got you here. It is funny though, because I'm a reformed Yankee fan. I think you're a current Yankee fan, and he was one of those guys when he played on the Orioles, Manny Machado, he torched the Yankees at every opportunity. I mean, and I thought they were going to back up the Brinks truck for him. I thought I would have bet anything in the world Manny Machado was going to be a New York Yankee. Not like they haven't needed a third baseman for the last, 5 years. Didn't you? I mean, I thought it was just a no-brainer.
Yeah, honestly, I was shocked, and especially because we had the images of he and Yaney, his wife, getting out of the car, going to Yankee Stadium, being courted by them, that it was, I don't want to say surreal, because Hal's Steinbrenner's Yankees have disappointed me many times.
Sure.
So it wasn't surprising on one hand, but on the other, it was just quintessential Hal, where they get almost to the finish line, and then they just have like a deadline where, no, we're not going to go that far. And now in retrospect, is $30 million a year really even that much? Like the price for the top guys in the league continues to rise, fortunately for them. So what the heck, Hal? Like, instead I get to watch Josh Donaldson every single day, and it's just brutal.
He's the worst, and Manny is the best. And that's the thing, is like Emily, and she's one of those, it's cool too, because there's something about the Padres, and there's been a few people on the East Coast too that I'm friendly with on Twitter. They're all staying up and watching San Diego Padres baseball, like all the time. You're one of those diehard. Like I work for the flagship, and if it's 9:30, I'm like, I'll go to bed. I'll catch the rest in the morning. Like, you guys are on the East Coast watching these games, and people are invested in this team out here in San Diego. What do you think that connection is?
I just have always had a thing for the big right-handed hitting Dominican third baseman.
Yeah.
A-Rod was my favorite player growing up and through until he retired. And then Manny just sort of stepped right into that role. He just was going to be that big bat. And I don't know, there's just something exciting going on in San Diego. And I even not only watched the games, but when they came to Mets, to Citi Field in 2021, I went to the game and I wore my Manny Machado jersey, and my co-host on my podcast got me a San Diego hat for Christmas that year. And I sat on the third base side. So, I mean, I don't know what the connection is, but it's there and it's strong.
It's funny because, it's wild. I mean, I grew up a Yankee fan because my dad was one, and I watch them now and I feel nothing, literally nothing. I don't like Garrett Cole. I don't like half the guys on the team. And when I was coming up, I loved them. This was mine and my dad's thing. And then when I had boys of my own and living here, now it's pretty embarrassing though, because when I was a kid, the Yankees spent a ton of money and they got the best players. Now look who I'm a fan of. The San Diego Padres, who spend more than the Yankees and still get the best players. And I'm like, all right, maybe this is a me problem, but it's just the way that my life and career has worked out. I feel like we could get Emily to the light. I feel like we could get her to the light, and maybe you'd never renounce them, but I feel like this is definitely your NL squad.
What do you need, Emily? You need a Manny Machado bobblehead?
Yeah, because we've got bobbleheads. We got anything you need.
Well, I already have 2 Manny Machado bobbleheads that were sent to me by my friend Sam, who the Mandalorian one, and then just a random one. Honestly, I don't know. I think I might have to come out to San Diego, maybe be courted a little bit by the city, wined and dined, and we'll think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Aunt Gloria, if you're listening, we'll call it Emily Nyman Day.
Emily Nyman Day here in San Diego. She's the host of the Breaking Balls podcast, and I love how much you love baseball, because I'm the same way. And wanted to get your thoughts on the WBC. I just following along on your Twitter. I'm assuming that you loved it, like most of the country did, other than Met fans. And I think, I'll give them a little bit of a pass. It's a bummer. It's a bummer to watch Edwin Diaz go down, even as a baseball fan. But just kind of your overarching thoughts on the WBC.
I think it was fantastic. I can understand the pool play was fun, but it can be a little slow because there's such a disparity between the bottom teams and the top teams. But the tournament round was electric. I mean, the one and done style tournament, a bracket style, is just an undefeated format. And it was fantastic in this format. And I think that this was the tournament. Because I mean, the WBC has been around for I think the first one was in like 2006 or something like that. This was the tournament where it finally arrived, because you had Shohei Ohtani. So it really sort of, it globalized, even though it's always been that way. But because we've never had a star quite like him on the other side that came from the other side of the world, that it really brought everything together, and it just cemented how fantastic and how exciting a tournament like this can be, especially because even though I think the Olympics are bringing back baseball for one of the next few Olympics, none of these guys can participate because they're in the middle of the season. So we never get to see them in this capacity and playing for their country and playing with their countrymen who may play in other pro leagues around the world. So it was exciting, and something like that just never happens in March. Spring training is exciting because it's the beginning of the season, but that sort of fizzles out by the first week, and then you're just like, all right, let's get to opening day. This really gave us something to look forward to, and MLB doesn't always get it right, but they certainly did this time around.
Yeah, we're talking to Emily Nyman, host of the Breaking Balls podcast. It's funny because my wife is a huge Padres fan as well, and she screams at me for not watching the Padres spring training games, and she's like, "This is your job, and you need to be." And I'm like, it's so far removed from the regular season for me. That's why this was so wonderful to have passion and guys playing 100% and playing for country and all that. I loved it. I wish they would do it every year. I understand why they don't. You're going to lose some appeal, but every 2 years or something, it's just it's been so fun to watch. And even on some of those slower beginning of the pool play games, games that are on at 3:00 in the morning and stuff here, it's like, man, this guy's a plumber, and now he's playing for his team. And it's cool to see that baseball is such a truly global game. Wanted to kind of talk to you too about, we're obviously elated here in San Diego. We're a bit nervous for the season to start. What's the mood in New York? You've got Met fans, Yankee fans, always big brother, little brother. We've kind of got that syndrome going on with the Dodgers, who we, same league. So we took them out in the playoffs last year, but that kind of head-to-head rivalry in New York is pretty fun.
Oh, it's the best. And it's gotten even better. Well, significantly better with Steve Cohen purchasing the Mets and so far being for all intents and purposes, a really great owner, not unlike Peter Seidler in San Diego. And to be honest, I think Yankee fans are a little nervous, especially with the news that came out last week where Hal isn't even paying for the Wi-Fi on their flight.
Right.
Where now that's like, oh my God. I have my cousin who's my co-host on my podcast and a Met fan. He was busting my chops about it last night. I'm like, come on, man, that's old news. Can we get over that already? But it's been really exciting. And I think that the Mets are the least of Yankee fans' problems right now because the Astros have just been the thorn in their side. And I think that's putting it lightly. So I'm confident in the season. This team, they can win 95 plus games, but that's not enough. Being able to do that isn't enough to get past the Astros. And I'm I'm cautiously optimistic because I'm a fool and it's before opening day. So what kind of baseball fan would I be if I weren't? But I think I'm very nervous, and I know other Yankee fans are as well, to just get past the Astros. Forget about the Mets.
Yeah, 100%. And we asked the question yesterday talking about the Padres of what are the big questions? And I thought about it yesterday a lot. What is there one team out there that you can think of that has the least amount of questions? Because now if you talk about the Astros being the class of the AL, and for many, many years, it was the Dodgers were the class of the NL, couldn't get the job done really in October when it counted, a lot like the Yankees since 2009. But the question marks, I think, they're few. They're few for the Padres. In the AL, who do you look at and say they have the least amount of question marks? Astros lost Altuve. I mean, that's tough to just plug and play somebody in for them. But out of all the teams in the AL, who has the fewest question marks in your opinion?
I even with Altuve's injury, because you can't really plan for that and you can't really replace him, I'd still say the Astros. I mean, the Yankees, their rotation, they shorted up pretty well with Rodon, so that filled in a question for them, because that's really the key in the postseason. And we saw in the World Baseball Classic how the best team on paper doesn't always come out on top. And I'm not saying that Japan wasn't great, but all of those teams were really good. So in a short tournament, when the talent disparity is razor thin, there are a few things that can get you over the hump and maybe give you a slight edge. Pitching is one of them. So I still think that the Astros edge the Yankees out in that respect. But I think that adding Rodon to the rotation made them a little bit more legit on the Yankee side. And I'd still say the Astros, because Altuve's injury obviously is terrible, and you never want to see that even for a rival. But it's a break, which is a clean injury for all intents and purposes, that he's going to be able to heal and come back probably at full strength in about 2 months. So the beginning of the season, it stinks, but it's a very long season for a reason. If it were only 80 games, then I'd say they might be in trouble, but he's going to come back at some point in June. They'll be fine.
Yeah, it's the pitching is where it kind of starts and stops with me. It's our biggest question mark here, even though we're cautiously optimistic about it. I do agree with that sentiment too. Even losing, and that's how good that team's constructed. You lose a guy like Jose Altuve, and you're like, we'll be okay, because we've got the arms, we've got the bullpen. You got Ryan Presley, who's the most underrated closer in baseball. I mean, the guy's like almost automatic, and doesn't get the big headlines. But no, it's going to be a fun season. We'll be checking in with you. Obviously following you on Twitter. Check her out at M Does It, EMSHE Does It. There it is. M She Does It.
You got there.
Yeah, I was close. M She Does It.
Where can we find your podcast, Emily?
That's right.
We're on all platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify. It's just the Breaking Balls podcast with Emily Nyman, and we release one episode per week. And if you enjoyed this segment, you will definitely enjoy that. So you should check it out.
And more cursing on your podcast, though.
Yeah, a little bit more.
You can't do it on the radio, unfortunately, for you and I. We certainly appreciate your time. You are a beast in every way of the most positive sense of that word. You're fearless.
Thank
I
you.
love you on Twitter. Keep up the great work, and we will talk to you very soon.
Thank you.
That's Emily Nyman, everybody, appearing on Ben and Woods and the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Fan Hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. Yeah, man, I'm getting just more and more excited every day that comes, Paulie, every day that passes. We are exactly now. We're 1 week away from opening day eve, which is just incredible. Incredible. Then we're going to be broadcasting live on opening day from Happy Does. It's going to be our show. Then the coach will follow us. Going to be down at Happy Does at 340 Fifth Avenue for opening day, presented by Coors Light, made to chill. Ben and Woods and Coach Katera broadcasting from 6 a.m. to noon leading up to the opener. Now, it's sponsored by Coors Light. Is that Rockies loving? Because we do play the Rockies. We play the Rockies on opening day. Are we, in fact, Rockies loving?
Hi, Sam.
Where's Sammy?
Sammy just jumped into our chat.
Oh, I haven't even looked at our chat today.
No, he jumped onto the screen for a second. He's in the studio.
Sammy Levitt?
Yeah, he's getting ready for his 9:30 hit. But I think Sammy Levitt actually might be joining us for more of the 9 o'clock hour. He's just hanging out at home today.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
All right. Fine by me.
Fine by me.
Yeah, works for me.
Is Coors Light sponsoring our opening day broadcast for the San Diego Padres Rockies? It might be. Is what's KOA? I think is the flagship out there in Denver.
Yep.
I mean, is there Is
Are
their
they-
show sponsored by Ballast Point,
Virgin beer,
Stone Brewing? I don't think so.
No, it's going to be fun, man. We had a great time last year. A lot of tier ones came by. Definitely the closer game time, the 110 is going to be
3:30 was a little tough for us.
I was
I mean,
dead.
we got off the air at 10, and then you couldn't really just march over to the stadium and
No.
you get ready to rage. You're like, all right, I got like 3 hours to kill.
It was rough. Why do they do that? National
TV thing.
TV.
But 110, I believe, is first pitch.
We don't know who's going to be on the bump yet.
Don't know.
They did tell. I think the deadline to name your opening day starter. They extended it to Friday because of the WBC. So we'll know who's going to be towing the slab. You know, Bob Melvin's going to sit down with Yu Darvish, and they're going to talk about kind of where Yu's at. Again, we covered it a little bit earlier. I'm not super worried about it. If Yu Darvish is not exactly ramped up to go opening day, I just feel like he's put in enough work in his career. I trust him almost implicitly that he's going to be ready to go whatever day that his number is called. And I'm not going to worry so much about an opening series against the Colorado Rockies.
I would
It's
be
just
more than okay with Blake Snell getting the opening day start. I
Yeah.
think it'd actually be fun.
I think-
Honestly,
I
Darvish
do
had
too.
it. Darvish had it 2 years ago for the home opener.
Yep.
Musgrove had the home opener last year.
Yep.
Why not give it to Snell?
give it to Snell. Show us what you got, man. Get out there and shove. Some of the best stuff in the league.
That's a guy who I think he rises to the occasion.
I do too. I mean,
I think he shoves on opening
We
day.
watched him pitch in the playoffs, and I'm still a big Blake Snell stan. Want to see him really take the jump this year, man. He's pitching for a contract as well. He's pitching for an extension or a free agent contract. So it behooves him to go out and have a really, really good season, and that only helps us as Padre fans. So I love it, man. I can't wait. It's like this last week is going to be excruciating. It's going to be excruciating waiting for this day to arrive. And I know many Padre fans feel the same way.
It wasn't that long ago that Eric Lauer was starting on opening day.
You're
So
not kidding.
when we're debating on whether or not Yu Darvish is ready to go for Thursday, or maybe it's Friday or Saturday, but we got Blake Snell in the wings, like it's all going to be okay.
Joe Musgrove seems to be doing much, much better. Bob talked about him yesterday, and basically said, yeah, he's going to throw to hitters. He goes, they're not going to swing because we don't want anything coming back at him, but he's going to actually get on the mound, throw to hitters.
Love
So
that.
talk about, let's knock on wood, bit of a bullet dodged. I think that could have been really, really bad. Him dropping that kettlebell on his foot.
And that's why you're just so glad that it happened to Joe Musgrove, of all people, somebody that puts so much time and effort into getting that body ready and all the preparation that he does in the off season. I think he can withhold a little bit of these injuries.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think a lot of other pitchers drop that kind of kettlebell on their foot, probably not pitching to hitters.
Well,
today.
it's kind of a tough segue, but there was some news yesterday of Drew Pomeranz, Paulie.
God.
Now, he did not drop the kettlebell on his toe.
Another
But
setback.
Dennis Lynn tweeted, Drew Pomeranz now looks unlikely for the Padres opening day roster. He recently felt some inflammation in the back of his elbow, so his progression has been slowed. I think I feel bad, man. I know it's my job to come on here and rip that guy. How do you rip a guy for being injured? He said it about a month ago. He goes, it's not like I don't want to pitch. I don't get the sense from Drew Pomeranz, Paulie, that he's a guy that's just cool. I mean, he signed a huge deal, and it's, I think at the end, I know at the end of the deal, you're going to look back and say that was probably money wasted. That being said, I feel bad for him, man. He wants to be out there helping his team win. And
yes.
I don't look at him as some freeloader that doesn't want to play. I know he's worked hard in his recovery. I know he has. So it's just a bummer. He's not going to be on the opening day roster. I wasn't really counting on him all that much. It would have been a nice little surprise. Just, again, try to go back, reset it, get back to neutral, and start over again. If he could pitch down the stretch, could be a nice little weapon. Okay? Got a Reindl report coming up next. Take a little breather myself here like Ben does. Now I get it, why he checks out so much during the Reindl report. I'm very tired. We'll be right back. It's Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. It's hour 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture, home of the world-famous Bob-O-Pedic mattresses with all the comfort and quality of a national mattress brand for half the price. No matter your budget, there's a Bob-O-Pedic memory foam hybrid or hybrid plus mattress for you. Check them out at mybobs.com. Ben has logged into Wi-Fi on the phone. He's texting us throughout the show.
I'm like, just stop.
Go on vacation.
Some of us don't text throughout the entire show,
If
okay?
I'm on vacation, you guys don't hear from me. I'm out.
God.
Don't call me. Don't text me. Leave me be. He's like, hey, what's you guys doing that? Shut up.
I was don't do this to them.
Yeah. It's like, bro.
Wait until 10 o'clock.
Wait till Monday.
Yeah,
I'll
if
talk
anything.
to you Monday when you get back from your 700 rounds of golf. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Benjamin out. It's me and Paulie filling in. Sammy Levitt on the line. Is that what's going on right now?
Special treat for you here.
I love
While
a
we were
special
talking
treat.
to Emily Nyman in the 8 o'clock hour, Sammy popped on, and we were going to talk to Sammy at 9:35. We still will talk to Sammy at 9:35, but I guess he's just hanging out at home today, so he's got the headset on, and he said, "Hey, I'm here if you guys want to chat. So why don't we just bring Sammy on now?"
Sammy, are you there, my friend?
I am here. Good morning, gentlemen. Yes, I accidentally inserted my video into the YouTube stream around 8:50. Thank goodness I was wearing a shirt. I did not intend to do that, but yes. Good morning. I'm going to try it now. You ready, Paul? I'm going to try to put myself into the stream. Here we go. I swear earlier when I pressed start camera, it just put me right in. I mean, no warning. Here we go.
There I am. See?
There he is.
Look at that guy.
Now, I have a
Now,
theory.
what's with that? Why does it just put you right in?
I have a theory, Sammy. So when Ben's out, I don't like doing the mechanics of radio. I like doing radio. It's my favorite thing in the world. I love this job more than a human being should. I do. I'm so passionate about it. I don't like the mechanics of radio. I don't like doing the liners and the teases and all that. I like just being me on the air. And Ben's really good. That's why we work. Ben's good at the mechanics. I hate it. I have a theory that Paulie texted you and said, can you come on out? Woods is drowning.
We're dying.
Woods is dying right
No.
now. Can you jump on and film
No. That's not what happened. I was texting Paulie because I was going to do it on the headset today because I'm here at the hotel. The Padres play tonight, so I had time. I had to get the equipment out anyway because I have to record some stuff this morning, like for some ads. So I had to get the equipment out, and Paul said, "Hey, we can bring you on at 9 if you want to do it." But Paul was very clear. He said, "I'm not asking you, but if you want to come on." So
You're too nice. You would have said, "Yeah, sure." So I'm like, I don't even want to ask, but if you're there and you want to,
it's an extra 20 minutes of radio before I was going to come on at 9:35. So hey, more time with Woods and Paul is good with me.
And it's anytime we get some Sammy Levitt time, that's also great. Happy 1 year
That's
and
right.
1 day anniversary. I mean, time flies. I mean, it absolutely flies. Sammy
not a
started
bad first year.
not
for
a bad
anybody
first year
in
at
the San
all.
Diego
I
media
mean,
market.
Sammy, you've crushed it every single day. Let's get to that when we do your regular Sammy Spring training segment. I want to do some Rindle report, and I want you to sit in with us for the Rindle report today.
All right, sounds good.
We started here with our today's edition of the Rindle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rindle Report with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean,
All right.
I guess do we have to put the champion in that one, or we have him in the open? The good morning, everybody.
He's in the open.
He's in the open of the show, yeah. But I mean, I feel like we just have to add it to everything. Juan Soto, the winner of the champion of drops.
The Juan
tournament
Soto
of drops. Yeah, he's the champ today. Paulie, take us away, buddy. What do you got for us?
All right, it is the Rindle Report brought to you by your San Diego Sockers. The Lords of Indoor are on the march to the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Get your tickets today at sdsockers.com. We will start off in the NFL, and Sammy, please weigh in if you got any thoughts as well. Story the other day that the NFL owners are expected to finalize a contract extension for Commissioner Roger Goodell. Excuse me. Now, Roger Goodell, not well liked by fans, I don't think. But then again, I'm not sure. Maybe Adam Silver. I don't know that any commissioner is really liked by the fans. I mean, you see him on draft day. He goes up there and he loves it.
I mean,
But if you're a team owner, you love Roger Goodell.
He's been a human shield for 32 owners in the NFL. The fact that, I mean, look, and the NFL is the most powerful brand in the world. They're a money printing factory. If you buy into an NFL franchise, you are going to make money hand over fist immediately. By all accounts, Roger Goodell he's a good commissioner because his league is robust and it's healthy. And he's not well liked, but those owners, man, I'm sure they would take a bullet for Roger Goodell because he has made these guys rich beyond their wildest dreams. He is internationally and obviously nationally. Football's a beast. So what did they say his salary is going to be?
I don't have the details on his salary. They're looking at a 3-year contract extension, and I'm pretty sure he makes already like $40 million a year.
I swear to God, I thought I saw $59.5 million a year.
Yeah, that would not surprise me.
Which is, by the way,
I'm looking. I don't see.
It's way more money than any player has ever made. Which there may be something inherently wrong there. Sammy, any thoughts on Roger Goodell and his tenure in the NFL?
Yeah, it would seem like that's kind of crazy that he would make more money per year than any player in the league, considering the players are the ones that drive the sport in the league and why we watch. I suppose the counter to that would be is that he is at the very top of what is the most successful sports league we have, and I'm sure it's making tons of money to justify the salary if you just want to go by the numbers and the revenue coming in. So it's crazy. I mean, $60 million a year in a league, if you're not a player, is wild. So
wild, man. It is the position of CEO has fascinated me since I was a little kid. I don't have the talent, the brain power, the acumen to ever be a CEO, but I remember being a kid and hearing a girl at school whose father was the CEO of Kimberly-Clark, which is a huge company. And I remember my dad or somebody telling me like what that dude made, and I went, "Oh, well, I would like to be a CEO." I don't know that I would. It's hard enough to manage the Ben and Woods 3-man team sometimes and answer emails and everything else. I don't make any more money than Ben does. It's gnarly. Like, I can't imagine having that responsibility. That being said, man, the people under you, those are the people that bring the company up. It's not all of your brilliant decisions, Robert Goodell. People don't tune in to watch commissioners. They don't tune in to watch, umpires, managers, things like that. Roger Goodell, though, $60 million. That just goes to show you, like Sammy said, how much money is that entity making where you can pay that man $60 million a year?
No kidding.
It's insane.
Unreal.
Thank you, Paulie.
Next up, Sammy, let me ask you a question. Do you watch Ted Lasso?
No, I've never seen I've never seen a single second.
I'm gonna have to change
Sammy.
I'm gonna have to change that. You're aware of Ted Lasso,
Sammy,
right?
you're like
Jason
Yes,
Sudeikis?
yes,
like-
Sudeikis, yes.
You would love it.
You're like a Ted. You have like some Ted Lasso in you.
Really?
Like, really? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Positive, funny, kind. Like, you're our own Sammy Lasso. I'm really all right. So, is there a reason why you haven't watched Ted Lasso?
No, I don't watch a lot of TV, honestly. I mean, I really, really don't. Like, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't. I do watch Succession. So when that comes back, I think it comes back this weekend. So I will watch that.
Well, the reason I brought up Ted Lasso is because they got season 3 underway now.
Yep.
And kind of part of their publicity tour, the cast of Ted Lasso, led by Jason Sudeikis, they went to the White House this week and they talked with President Biden and Jason Sudeikis, or Ted Lasso. He was in character. So Ted Lasso took the podium and they were there to discuss mental health,
I love
which
this.
I am always on board to promote anything that has to do with mental health, seeking help, beating the stigma that it's a sign of weakness to go to therapy or anything like that.
Well, not to spoil anything for Sammy, but Ted Lasso, this ultra positive, always positive guy, he has his own struggles.
He's got his demons.
The character of Ted Lasso, and when you see it, and when it manifests itself on screen, and you watch it, I mean, it made me cry. It really did. I was like, I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was blown away at that when they took that turn. I think it was in season 2.
Season 2,
and you're like,
got a little dark. You're like, good.
Holy cow, okay,
Yeah.
makes a little sense. So
Here's a little
you got audio.
I got a little clip here of Ted Lasso at the White House talking mental health. This was 2 days ago.
I just want to say that on behalf of myself, everyone here with me today, and the numerous other folks that it takes to make our show Ted Lasso, it is sincerely an honor to visit the White House and to have the opportunity to speak to the president and to the first lady about the importance of mental health. So, like, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter who you voted for, we all probably, I assume, we all know someone who has, or have been that someone ourselves actually, that's struggled, that's felt isolated, that's felt anxious, that has felt alone, right? And it's actually one of the many things that believe it or not, that we all have in common as human beings, right? And so that means that it's something that we can all, and should talk about with one another when we're feeling that way, or when we recognize that in someone feeling that way. So please, we encourage everyone, and this big theme of the show is like to check in with your neighbor, your coworker, your friends, your family, and ask how they're doing, and listen sincerely. I mean, you all ask questions for a living, but you also listen for a living. So, who am I preaching to? The choir, that is.
The great Jason Sudeikis.
So good, man.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Obviously, we talk about it a lot on this show as well. So love that message, Paulie. Last one. Yeah, I saw this going around. There was a story recently in the Wall Street Journal about a TikTok trend. Now, we've brought up the TikTok trends, the good, the bad, the very bad TikTok trends in the past year on the Ryan Report. And the most recent one that the Wall Street Journal covered is about the everything shower. All right, Sammy Levitt.
Now, I knew what this was when I saw this story. Does Sammy Levitt, do you know what the everything shower is?
Sammy's like a master of TikTok. Sammy has one of the most successful TikToks in the world.
Yeah,
So-
you're the sports broadcaster
Yes.
guy on TikTok.
It's incredible.
The sports broadcaster.
Incredible.
Well, I to be honest, I haven't posted much the last couple of months, and I've not scrolled much. So I honestly, I've never heard of this trend, and
All right, what
maybe
is
I
it?
don't want to hear of it.
What's it called? The everything shower?
Yeah, it's nothing weird.
It's like the everything
Oh, okay,
big.
good.
It's actually a little treat yourself kind of a thing. So
Sounds good to me.
yeah. So my wife does this, and
She does
kind of
this.
got me going on this
She
on,
does
on
it
Sundays.
because of TikTok?
No, she did this
She
before I
did
knew
it
this was a
before.
trend.
Okay.
Maybe she got the trend from TikTok. I don't know.
All right.
So the everything shower. Let's see. What would you say your average length of a shower is?
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Seven-
Oh my
seven.
god! What?
Yeah.
Well,
7 minutes.
like a daily shower, yeah. But if I have time, I can go 20. I can go 20, 25, 30 minutes in there.
I just mean your
Easy.
average, body wash, soap, shampoo.
I take a shower.
in, out.
I've never done this show without showering before. Never once. I shower every morning. I'm the only one on our show that showers every morning.
Shower every night.
I can't wake up without it. I'm in and out of that sucker in 7 minutes.
I think daily, like morning showers. I think I'm way below probably 7. I'd say it's like
Really?
three or four. Yeah,
3 or 4 in and out.
Okay,
in
so
and out.
7 minutes from Petco Park. My 7-minute shower.
we can all use the everything shower. The everything shower is when you basically you can make it 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You take a long hot shower and you kind of just give yourself like full spa treatment. You might dip into more of the scrubs and different soaps, the conditioner. Like you go all out. It's
I
not
do this
just
every shower.
It's not just the 7-minute shower though. It's not just the whatever you need. Pamper yourself a little bit, and I do it every Sunday. Like
What is
Yes.
happening right now?
It's not like I don't use soap and shampoo and all of that on the other showers, but I take an extra 5 to 10 minutes on Sundays.
You shaving your legs, and then what's going on?
Shave my beard.
Shave your okay.
Yeah,
In the shower.
I get a shave every Sunday night, and it gets me ready for the week.
I feel like Paulie, I feel like I do an everything shower every day, and I feel like I can get it done in 7 minutes.
Says here, instead of just washing yourself down, the everything shower might include facial treatment.
But I have a question. How is this a TikTok trend? What are the videos?
Are they showing themselves in the shower?
Just like their products and their hands using said products.
I feel
but
like
instead of just doing what you need to feel clean on the daily shower, like this is use everything you got, treat yourself right once a week, call it the everything shower.
All right, let's go through our shower routines next. I'm massively interested in this. We got to take a break. I'll walk you through piecemeal what I do every single day.
All right.
All right. I'll walk you through it.
We can do that.
Next on Ben and Woods.
Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto Family. Here's Kelly Damick.
Westbound King Freeway is having some trouble this morning. There's a collision involving a minivan and a motorcycle just past Federal. Really center divide. Emergency crews got that fast lane blocked. 4 brake lights to make your way downtown. Crash just cleared from the right lanes near 30th Street. Heading out of the South Bay, northbound side of the 5 just past Dairy Mart Road. There is collision involving
Love it. Good vibrations in the shower a lot of times with the everything shower. Paulie was just telling us about it. Sammy Levitt's also joining us. It's Ben and Woods 97.3 The Fan. Ben's out. This is about as experimental radio as you're going to get today. We only got about 30 minutes left in the program, but Paul was telling us about a new TikTok challenge, a new trend called the everything shower, where you stretch your legs in there a little bit and you really take your time. Now, our water bill at my home is excruciating. It's excruciating to live here and pay for that. My wife runs the showers. She gets mad if I take a long shower, even though she takes very long showers. So I've learned to condense it. Sammy's learned to condense his. Paulie does take an everything shower once a week. What is the routine in the everything shower? I'm still the other thing is, just as an aside, not everything has to be a TikTok trend. Like, this is me eating a sandwich. This is the new sandwich trend. And like a guy
sandwich challenge,
making a sandwich. It's like, yeah, I've done that a billion times. So this is just your once a week, a little treat yourself in the shower.
Right. Whatever it takes for your normal daily shower, soap, shampoo, conditioner, whatever, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Stretch it out, double your 7 minutes.
So 14 minutes.
And it's not just in the shower, because we have a few different like scrubs and
masks,
variety of facial washes and scrub, moisturizers, all that. I don't use them all every single time, but on the everything shower, bust it all out. When you're done in the shower, stay in front of the mirror. Maybe it's a face mask. You're basically giving yourself the home spa treatment once a week. I like Sunday nights. It gets me feeling really good, ready for the week ahead.
I'm not laughing at Paulie. I'm laughing at me. And my wife can attest to this. What
would an everything shower look like for you?
Well, here's my everyday shower. I get in the shower first, and you do the water hits you, and you right hot water.
Let it run.
I think the first thing I do is I don't shampoo every day. My lady that cuts my hair said don't shampoo every day.
That was something I learned in like the last couple of years.
You're washing out the natural oils, and the natural oils is you want that. Plus, you get older, and you're terrified of losing your hair. I'm terrified of it.
I'm 32, and I have a couple of friends that have already lost most, if not all, of their hair.
It's
like
scary.
They were terrified at 20 to get like a buzz cut, even because they're like, I'm going to go bald. I'm like,
so I wash my hair only a couple times a week. I do condition it every day. So what I do first thing I do is I put the conditioner in, I leave it, and then I take my it's a loofah, I guess, or like a. It's the poof.
You're a loofah guy.
It's the poof.
The poof.
Yeah. Well, I can't use a washcloth. The soap runs off of it. It doesn't hold the soap. I feel like it doesn't get me clean. So I have a poof. We have a his and hers. Mine's blue. Hers is pink. Very manly. The blue poof. So I use my soap on there, and then I scrub my arms first, my chest, under my neck. I get back of my neck. Then I go down. Then I
go left arm.
Then I go,
to
hold
chest.
on. And then I go downtown. I go downtown front. And then I go downtown back.
Yeah.
And then I go legs, calves, feet, bottom of feet, rinse the loofah, rinse the conditioner out. And then I take this. I've got an exfoliating.
How many effing products do you have?
I've got an exfoliating facial scrub. And I use that and I exfoliate, or I have another one that's an ultra facial cleanser. And I don't exfoliate every day. I do the ultra facial cleanser a couple times a week as well. And
this is like the Super Bowl for the Stick to Sports crowd.
they're
now.
just like firing off emails to Adam.
Do we have an angry mob outside?
Probably.
For us?
Bro,
I can't believe you do the bottom of your feet.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the bottom of my feet get washed by just being
in the soapy water.
You think that, but I wear
probably not. It's probably gross that I don't scrub down on the bottom.
Yeah, I get the bottoms of the feet, and then if I get out, Paulie, after that I have several dozen creams and lotions that
several dozen.
If my
we
wife
have like a treasure chest that you just like open up.
If my wife's listening, go to my top right drawer, take a picture of You'll die. You'll die.
Holy.
She gets mad at me because I have so much stuff. It's hard work to look this mid.
You and I have gone on several. You and I have gone on several week-long trips, mostly to Arizona. Fantasy
You
camp.
didn't look at my dop kit?
No, I didn't.
You should've.
You bring like 8 suitcases. How many of them are just full of your products?
Just products.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
I took a photo since I've been here. I think it was at the World Baseball Classic, and your wife commented on the photo saying, you know, we need the skincare routine, and it was actually a delightful comment to hear, Woodsy, because for the first time in my life, the last couple of months, I've been moisturizing.
Yes.
And according to multiple people, it has made a big difference. I don't really see it. Other people claim they see it. And all it is, I just use that moisturizer, a little bit of the eye cream.
Boom.
Apparently a big difference.
The older
your wife commented, she noticed just on a photo.
She's obsessed with skin as well. I shaved my face last week, and I said to her, she goes, "You look terrifying and hideous." And I said, "But look at the canvas underneath, still look pretty good. It was smooth." So I drank so heavily for so many years. I smoked cigarettes heavily for many years. I did everything bad you could do to the human body. The fact that I look even this okay at 47, I'm happy because it means that some of that stuff is working. But I'm a sucker, man. Somebody called me a pigeon the other day, and I had to look it up what it meant. Like a dupe. I get duped. And I'm like, yeah, 100%. I'm not going to deny you that I'll pay $300 for an oil change, that I'll buy eye cream that's supposed to make these crow's feet go away. You got me. Like I'll fully wear it. But
This is like the what did you buy the other day? The hot chocolate
milk
in the can,
protein milk.
chocolate milk in the
that
can.
was an ambient influence purchase. These are not, Sammy. These are middle of the day. Like, ooh, it really gets rid of lines and wrinkles.
I'll tell you one thing. You got us the first time we were on YouTube, actually, during the Christmas and holiday extravaganza.
Yeah.
You got us a kit from Kiehl's. And
I love it.
Dude, that scrub bar soap.
I told you.
I have bought multiple since.
I told you, dude.
It is like the first time I used it was like, that is different. That is not Dove. That is a little bit different. It's a little bit better.
It's a little bit better.
And I've bought several bars.
Yes.
since.
Yep. And
so thank you for that.
Eye creams. Listen, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Okay. Nothing to be embarrassed about it at all. I'm not even really that embarrassed about it. I don't care. I think that it's important, but the everything shower, man, that's just kind of who I am. I kind of live in everything. It's a whole big routine.
And maybe you're just ahead of the trend. You're leading the trend.
I must be. I saw American Psycho, the movie, and when I saw that, I went, yeah, I'm in. Like that guy's way into.
I use a water-activated gel cleanser, and on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub.
Yep.
Then I apply an herb mint facial
mask,
which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine. Yeah. Then an anti-aging eye balm, followed by a final moisturizing protective lotion.
Correct.
There is an idea
of a Stephen Woods. That's exactly right. No, it's very, very similar. We will be right back. Sammy Spring Training is going to stay with us. Let's talk some Padres baseball
going.
Yeah, the stick to sports crowd is. The mobs are out, so we're gonna
field day for them.
We're gonna give you your sports next. Going to talk some Padres baseball. A lot to get to.
Hey, before we do, we are 28 minutes away.
Right.
Get ready. Okay, Ben and Woods open. Tickets go on sale at 10 o'clock sharp. 28 minutes away. Get ready.
Right, so 973thefansd.com/golf.
Correct.
973thefansd.com/golf. 10
Follow
sharp.
at Ben and Woods.
Follow at Ben and
Tweet will be
Woods.
the link will be tweeted right at 10 o'clock, but just want everybody to be aware because look, if it's anything like the first one, tickets are going to go very fast. 10:05 might be too late.
I fear that it might be. Yeah. All right.
Is our website capable of this kind of
Probably not.
I don't know.
traffic?
That's kind of the that's the thing that we're worried about, Sammy. But yeah, be ready, guys. You got 27 minutes. So 10 o'clock sharp, going to go on sale. Ben and Woods open. Can't wait to see you guys out there. Please don't complain to me when you don't get in. I'm very sorry. did my best. Right back. Final segment on Ben and Woods today, minus our boy Benny flying to North Carolina, tweeting or texting us incessantly throughout the show. That's been a treat. I mean, God bless. Somebody take his phone away from him. Leave us alone. We're here.
What time does he tee off tomorrow?
7:40. Oh, wait.
7:40.
7:40
Eastern,
the
4:40.
Eastern, 4:40.
So right when we get in.
All morning.
Yep.
I'm going to give his number out on the air. I'm going to have tier ones text him throughout his round. Think I won't. Hey, how's it going? What'd you shoot there? What'd you get on 4?
How's the driver working today?
Yeah, wedge is looking good. How's the putting stroke?
Have you tried the lasagna?
Have you tried
That's my
lasagna?
favorite.
Is it still hot out there, Ben?
Hi, how are you?
How are you? Think I won't tweet his number out and be like, go ahead. Bro, I got 40 texts from him.
Yeah, I looked down at my phone. I was like, good God, what the hell happened?
What's going on?
This kid.
Driving me crazy, man. Gigs hard. If you want to go on vacation.
It's the most I've heard from him in like 3 weeks, by the way.
That's the best part. Just to pull the curtain back, Sammy, because it's fun when he's gone. You can talk trash. And they crush me when I'm gone too, so I don't care. On Sunday, every Sunday, I will get this burst of creativity on Sundays, usually. And I'll text Paulie something at like 7:30 a.m. Hey, this week, as I'm looking ahead, blah, 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 I'm firing off emails, the whole bit. And I'll say, let's get this going. And then Paulie, when he gets up, he'll usually hit me back by like 9:30. And Ben's on the thread too. Nothing. Noon, Paulie will say, hey, I'm working on this. And I'll say, oh, I have this idea. Paulie will say, great, done. 3 o'clock comes and goes, no Ben. Nothing. We'll go Sundays. He won't even text us back. As we're planning our show for the week, he will not text us back on this plane. He has texted me and Paulie 42 times today during the show. Sammy Spring Training is going to join us now. Going to talk some Padres baseball. Sammy now has been with 97.3 The Fan for 1 year and 1 day, and a very special part of our everyday lives as Sammy Levitt has come into town like a tornado. And we're going to get to him in a minute. And let's check traffic first. We'll come right back with Sammy Spring Training, talk some Padres baseball with you.
From the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Could still see some scattered showers around the county, but looks like things have dried out pretty nicely for the most part. The westbound King Freeway has been a bit of a beast. Got a crash past Federal, motorcycle involved. Everything's been moved over to the right shoulder. Then up ahead, speeds are returning to normal, making your way into downtown since you got that crash out of the right lane near 30th Street. Now, Market Street on-ramp to northbound 805. Looks like tow truck is on scene of a collision. They're moving that over to the right shoulder. And Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So as I was just mentioning, we love to celebrate anniversaries here on the show. We do. Our 5-year anniversary of the show's coming up on Monday.
Got a big one.
Got a big one coming up. Sammy's been here for 1 year and a day. And Sammy, you have really, really done a phenomenal job here. And you should ask Adam for more money. That's what you should do. You should go to.
And Sammy, this segment in particular over the last 5 weeks now or whatever it's been, I mean, it's hey, you've saved our ass pretty much every single day.
Sammy, this is the door in Titanic. This segment
You're the door.
You're the door. And I'm Kate Winslet laying on the door. And you're the door.
Ben's Leo, but he's not dead. He's just asleep.
Ben is in the water. Hey, guys, what about me?
For a second there, I was like, what is he talking
No,
about?
you're the door.
In the Titanic. And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, he means the door floating. in
The floating door
the ocean.
that saved Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
I am Kate Winslet. You are the door. The great Sammy Levitt. So finally, back to some baseball action out there in Peoria yesterday. Padres absolutely put it on the Colorado Rockies, and we got a little taste, Sammy, of some a harbinger of things to come, hopefully.
Yeah, yesterday the offense was awesome between what Manny did and Fernando Tatis Jr. did, and Jake Cronenworth continues to have a terrific spring. And really top to bottom, the first 5, including Bogarts and Carpenter, they were excellent. Team puts up 14 runs, and I know I've been the guy that said don't put too much stock into spring training numbers, and certainly there's an element of truth to that. But we've seen now a couple of games, recently since these guys got back from the World Baseball Classic, where you have a lot of the typical names in that lineup at the very top, and they've produced really nicely. So is that a harbinger of things to come the first couple of weeks of the season? You certainly hope so. You can't guarantee it, but you're right. Very good to see yesterday what they did offensively, and certainly when they do that, it makes you dream about what could be, and we'll see what happens starting next week.
Yeah, and it there's no guarantee, but you certainly see with that top of the lineup, there's the potential for that for every game. We've had a lot of fun kicking around what Bob Melvin's going to do with the lineup, and I fully expect it to be different. I think Juan Soto will, when he comes back, will probably be your 2-hole guy moving forward. But man, how about Crony stepping in yesterday and kind of lost in the shuffle of all of these superstars? There's just Jake Cronenworth ready to play wherever you need him to play it well, and hit. And I know last year wasn't offensively what he wanted. Have you talked to him at all this spring about maybe some things that he's changed? I have a crazy, wacky theory I'll share with you after you give me your answer.
It's on my to-do list to really talk with him about it. I haven't quite done the one-on-one with him beyond just talking to him in the clubhouse about random stuff. It's on my list of things to do. But we have heard a lot, if you just want to go on the record, of what Bob Melvin has said, and I think there's a real feeling just around camp of this as well. Bob was talking the other day about, and it was unprovoked. I think I'm trying to think what the original question was, but it was that first day that it was the top four in the lineup: Tatis, Soto, Bogarts, and Manny. And Bob Melvin went out of his way to talk about Jay Cronenworth and essentially say that he thinks Crony's going to have a really big year. And I followed up on it. I said, what gives you that confidence? And he talked about his work ethic and and the kind of player he is, the fact that he's fully healthy right now, which it seems like last year there were a lot of points of the year where he was not. So I agree with Bob. I agree with kind of the feeling around camp, and I think the feeling of a lot of the fan base right now that we probably haven't seen the best of Jake Cronenworth yet in a Padres uniform. And he's really, when you just look at the guys around him in the lineup, what he can do, his own development as a hitter, the work this guy puts in, I think there's a real feeling that Jake's going to have a really, really good year. And when you mix that in with the potential of the rest of this lineup, yeah, it makes it that much stronger. And I'm also in that camp. I look at Jake Cronenworth. He's healthy. I look at what's around him in that lineup and how potent it could all be. And yeah, it's hard to not imagine him having a really, really good year. And obviously he's not just an offensive guy. Like what he does defensively, his versatility is a huge part of the value that Jake Cronenworth brings to your team. So I'm very excited to see what he does.
So my tinfoil hat theory is, so they brought in last year Michael Brodeur, and Michael Brodeur and Jake Cronenworth played together at Michigan. And I think, you bring in Brodeur from the Giants, and he was part of a collective there in San Francisco, a really good collective that really got those guys hitting well in that season that they won, 100+ games. So Brodeur comes in, Paulie, and he's like, hey, let's do it this way. And a lot of guys aren't buying in. And Jake's like, oh, crap, that's my buddy. I got to buy it. I have to buy in to this guy's philosophies, and I'm going to try it just to make him feel better.
Yeah.
Brodeur's gone. Crony's ripping the cover off the ball. We're all good. There's no more pressure on him to do what his buddy has asked him to do. He's going to go out and be himself. I think, lineup protection is something that is, I love that conversation.
That's what we hit on. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I love that Bob Melvin went out of his way. That was Saturday night, to talk about Cronenworth, even though everybody else was talking about
the big four,
the four fathers in the 1 through 4 spot. But it's also, if you really break it down, it's kind of like a duh statement.
Right.
Like, well, yeah, I mean, he's probably the next best player. He's number 5 on that list. And it's like, well, look at who's in front of him. Of course he's going to be getting pitches. Like, you could say, you know what? Hey, look at the work that Nelson Cruz has put in. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 25 home runs. Well, yeah, because somebody's going to have to get some fastballs in that lineup.
Yeah, I mean,
and it ain't going to be the first 4.
Pitchers are going to relax. They're going to relax around guys in this lineup. It's
Matt Carpenter could have a huge year.
Yeah, it's human nature.
I fully expect Ha-Sung Kim to continue to take strides offensively like we saw last year.
It's just a matter of you feel like if you get those first 4 guys out, Sammy, you feel like you've really accomplished something. I mean, it's almost like, woo, I just ran the gauntlet, and here's Cronenworth. I'm going to try to get ahead.
I got to do it again in an inning and a half.
Yeah, I got to do it again. Right. I mean, these guys are coming up again, and I love the makeup of this team, and I love the potential that it has offensively. It's through the roof. Talk to me about some of the pitchers that we got to see yesterday, Sammy, because there's some guys that are turning some heads down there that maybe the Padre fans aren't that familiar with.
Yeah, well, number one, I think it's been really good to see Tim Hill bounce back the last few outings after a tougher one last week. And I talked to Bob Melvin about it yesterday, and he basically said Tim has looked really good all year. It was just that one tough outing. And hey, Tim Hill, I know, is a name that doesn't get talked about a ton, but he's a really important part of that bullpen and a guy that you're going to see a lot of nights out of that bullpen. Very, very important part. Look, it's great to see Anderson Espinoza. If you're familiar with his story, the injuries, coming back to the Padres organization, what he did yesterday, 4 scoreless innings, stuff looked very good. He struck out 5. Kevin Kopps is an interesting story. He came in just to kind of clean up an inning, but he was a 3rd-round pick by the Padres a couple of years ago and was a big-time reliever at Arkansas, and is somebody that at some point in the future you might see in the Padres bullpen. He was a 3rd-round pick, and as a college reliever, which is a very high pick for somebody like that. So, again, he started at AA, was advanced last year, and I think is somebody to just keep an eye on moving forward. And then the 2 that finished the game last night, Moises Lugo and Domingo Tapia, both have had very, very good springs.
Quietly, really great springs.
Right. And especially I think Tapia is somebody to keep an eye on, somebody that Bob Melvin is familiar with. And look, are those 2 guys going to make the bullpen on opening day? Probably not. But again, and we know this over the course of an 162 game season, I mean, you very well may see these guys depending on injuries, depending on performance. And, over the course of the season, you see guys from the minor leagues that you never thought you would see. So good to see what they've done. They've both been very impressive. And they're guys who have pitched a lot in these spring training games. And you always have these names that I guess we don't talk about a ton, but they're in a lot of these games, and they've certainly been very impressive.
Yeah, Moises Lugo, such an interesting guy. He's pitched a lot in spring. He's got a 1.13 ERA. Now, Pomeranz is going to go down. Moises Lugo, like you said, he's probably headed to El Paso, but a shot at the big leagues this year. Bob Melvin, it's his mantra. It's more than 26 guys win a championship. You're going to need about 45, 50 guys when it's all said and done. Good to know. It makes the Padre fan feel good to know that, there's some guys that seem to be progressing through there. Matt Carpenter had a really nice day yesterday as well. Tonight's game, Padres at Reds on TV. So you'll be able to watch the game tonight with no WBC action. Could really be the only game in town. Seth Lugo will take the bump tonight. He's pitched great. I mean, he's got a sub-2 ERA as well, and is going to be a big, important piece for this team moving forward, Sammy.
Yeah, absolutely. The Padres are relying on Seth Lugo for a lot to be effective and to eat up innings, and we've talked about it at length, the task that both him and Martinez have as guys that have not been full-time starting pitchers in the major leagues for a little bit of time. And both those guys are going to be really, really important, and maybe even more important considering some of the other elements surrounding this rotation at the start of the year. I mean, Yu Darvish pitching 1 inning yesterday. I mean, that game was awesome. And seeing Darvish and Ohtani in the matchup at the end with Ohtani and Trout, look, it was awesome. Okay. It was
legendary.
Tremendous theater. Yeah. It's worth whatever effects it has on their respective major league teams. I think we all can come to that conclusion at this point, but the reality is Yu Darvish now, a week away from opening day, a little bit more, pitched 1 inning through 18 pitches, and now he's going to come back to camp, and I'm sure in the next day or two we'll have a real idea of A, what the plan is for him, and B, if there's a shot he's going to start opening day or not. We're going to find that out here in the next few days for sure, what the plans are moving forward. Look, between that and the Musgrove situation, and Joe's doing everything he can to come back as quickly as possible, but the sense you get is that the Padres are going to be very conservative with him, and they don't by any means want to rush him, even if it means, telling Joe, hey, we know you feel ready, but we're going to put it off for a little while longer because we want to make extra sure. Bottom line, back to the Lugo conversation, and Martinez and Waka also, and Blake Snell. I mean, the other 4 guys, the first week or 2 of this season, there's going to be some extra pressure on them to perform and eat up some innings and be the fully stretched out, built up guys in this rotation. So on the pitching side of things in that starting rotation, the first couple of weeks here, Woodsy, are going to be interesting.
Well, I'm looking forward to the offense just going out and drubbing everybody. That's really there's one cure. Yeah. There's one cure for your pitching ails, and that's your offense to go out and throw up 8, 9, 10 runs a game and not worry about it, because it doesn't matter how much you win by. You just got to win by 1. You need to win by 1 every single day and go 1-0 that day. Sammy, happy anniversary. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, sir.
Such a pleasure to know you. Keep up the great work. And we will chat with you tomorrow. Yes?
Yes,
all right.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. It has been a pleasure.
All right. Tell everybody we said hello out
Thanks,
of the
Sammy.
complex, and we appreciate you very much. All right, Paulie, we are just about 4.5 minutes away from the Ben & Woods Open, going on sale, 97.3 thefansd.com/golf. We are done for the day. Thanks for hanging in, and we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Have fun, man. Have fun the rest of the day, and hope you guys get in the tournament. Look forward to seeing you out at RBI on April 6th.
You and I will be back here tomorrow.
Be back. Paulie Reindl, great job today, filling multiple roles.
And Higgins, stop texting us.
Please stop texting us. I'm begging you. Have fun, Ben. We will be texting him tomorrow.